everyone, welcome back to the Brian and Manny podcast. I'm your host Brian. I'm here with my other host. Say what's up to the people, Manny.
What's up, people? We are back.
We are back. That is correct. We had to take a couple days just to refresh, especially with a lot of wrestling coming up, and we're gonna break down all the wrestling content that's coming out and what's coming up for WWE, and we'll also touch on a couple other things. So. Should be fun today. But, quick little thing. How are you, Manny? How's everything? How you doing? Yep.
Oh yes. Sorry about that. No, I've been good. Just enjoying, enjoying everything, enjoying life.
That's good. It's good, man.
Yeah, it's glad to be reunited with you, brother. Very glad.
Absolutely. So usually we go right into the Raw review, but I do got a few little news stories real quick before we get to the meat and potatoes of Monday Night Raw. So let's get to it. So, as you see in the background, you'll be seeing a Royal Rumble of 2K25, but there was some 2K25 developments, some good and some pretty ugly. But let's start with the good. There was an update today. If you guys were trying to live and Dom entrance that they added for free with like the Cody Rhodes entrance, that is now functional. You can use that entrance. So do what you will with that. But other than that, and a couple other fixes to other things, other than that, there was actually a DLC. DLC dropped about a week ago from now. And this was the New Waves pack, was the name of it. And the New Waves consisted of Julia, Steffi Vercure, and Motor City Machine Guns, and a special celebrity. Now let me start with the good. The DLC packs and all the people that are in the DLC pack that we got are fantastic. Steffi Vercure is so much fun to play. Julia, amazing to play. And Motor City Machine Guns is some of the funnest tag teams that you can play with. Their tag team moves is so unique and different. It just adds to that tag division when you're doing 2K tag matches. It just adds to that. Like, you could basically recreate the triple threat TLC match if you want with them and the Street Profits. You could do that now, because now Motor City Machine Guns, for the first time, have made it into a 2K game. Something, if you would have told me years ago when they were in TNA, they're going to make it into a 2K game, I would have been like, you're wildin'. The amount of calls that I've had to download for both of them for years. Don't need to do that anymore. Don't need to do that anymore, because now their official models from 2K, which done an awesome job, are officially in the game. And that goes to the same for technically Stephanie. Julia didn't have to worry about too much. But Stephanie, I downloaded a lot of Stephanie calls.
Oh, yes. Especially, now please tell me if you downloaded this one. The green attire. When she had
absolutely. Yes. After adding Stephanie's model, I would always download the green one, and then one of my favorites, which when she debuted with Raw, she had a blue one that was really cool. So I always get the blue one. And especially when she wrestled in AAA, she would wear that green one, and I would always get it. But the thing is, that's when the Epic creators were making calls. Now 2K finally did the job for us, and now the creators can get even more creative with different colors, because now Stephanie's model and her gear is actually in the game now. So that was the thing that I was super excited about when the New Waves pack was announced. And I was very grateful that, they announced that pack, because it really put an emphasis on new stars coming in the game. And that's what I want from DLC. I want stars that are not in the game in a pack. It makes total sense. So I was super excited when I saw that pack was announced. And we finally got it in our hands, and it was well worth the wait in that aspect. And I'll even give credit to the island. I usually don't give a lot of credit to the island, but I'll give the credit to the island. They gave us new free content with cool rewards and a free Prime bottle character and gear where you can dress anybody in a Prime bottle. So if you want to get a celebrity, say, Speed, for instance, you could put Speed in a Prime bottle by just putting on the Prime bottle gear. You could do it in the Superstar menu when you're creating your Superstar. And it's free clothes. You basically just have to grind missions until Chapter 2. So I appreciate that free content, because free content is something that I think more companies should do, where you get free stuff from just grinding. something that I always do a lot. So I appreciate 2K for doing that. But here's the ugly. Here's kind of the bad, that I don't understand why 2K did what they did. So, firstly, before we get to even the Monday Night Raw announcement, which I will touch on now because it's related to everything. I won't do it in a separate thing when we talk about Raw. But, they announced with the DLC pack, as I stated before, there's going to be a special guest celebrity. Now, when it comes to me and celebrities with WWE, as long as it's done in the right way, with the utmost respect to the professional wrestling game, then I'm okay with celebrities being involved in wrestling, as long as it's done right and it's fun. So like when Bad Bunny was celebrity, I thought that was brilliant because not only he was a great fucking wrestler, but it was super fun because him and Damian Priest had such good chemistry at Backlash, and then the stuff he did at Mania with Morrison was also good as well. So that's why I don't mind Bad Bunny coming into wrestling here and there, because he's generally just a fan and loves to do it. So those kind of celebrities, I'm okay with. The celebrities I don't care for are they're trying to just do wrestling to get publicity for them, but they have no clue anything about professional wrestling and they're just kind of doing it. And luckily WWE's been very good at bringing celebrities that are just genuine fans. Like the Speed moment, right? Almost like 30 million views in 24 hours for getting speared by Braun Breaker. Just from that. It was one spot, and people again don't like the celebrity thing, which I understand. But that helped WWE a ton, because not only gave a platform to Speed, but it also gave a platform to WWE that some fans now are watching the product more than ever, because their boy Speed got involved, because his fan base is very loyal. So that's something that I appreciate when it comes to these celebrities when it's done right. But when it's done wrong, oh, it is done so wrong. So, like I said, we got the rest of our content. This is the problem number one with this pack. We got the rest of our content, right? We got Stephanie, we got Julia, we got Motor City Machine Guns, we got the new moves, we got the free island update. They even gave us a free patch where they gave us an updated Cody Rhodes entrance. It was great. It was a great launch. But here's the problem. You announced in your advertisement there's going to be a free celebrity for the next 3 packs. Because there's one in this one, then there's 3 NBA stars, which I'm going to get to. And then there's one for Jordan Grace and Penta. Then that's it. That's the last celebrity. The rest of them are just superstars. So like Attitude Era, and then the one in November for Jesse Ventura and Saturday Night's Main Event. That one's just all superstars, no celebs. And you would think, oh yeah, did the celebrity drop with the pack? Well, no, actually. And in fact, it was kind of also a low blow because 2K gave us no recollection of saying, hey, these celebrities are coming out in the coming weeks until the night before the launch, because they gave us free VC. They gave us, I think it was 12,500 VC off a locker code, which I appreciate the VC because I was able to get some stuff. But you didn't give us any notification before that the DLC, celebrity is not coming out on the release date. That's one thing that is so frustrating about this, celebrity idea. If I got a celebrity in my pack, 2K should know they should have that celebrity ready to go. You can't just shortchange us. Give us the superstars we want, and then
and
like, oh yeah.
That, though. Just because it's a celebrity, you're gonna wait for us to have it. I don't get it.
That's another thing. Like, you're making us wait when in the season pass, which by the way, I am a season pass holder. It says every pack you're gonna get for free, and the celebrities are part of the pack. So the fact that I have to wait, which by the way, we're coming on to the second week since the DLC has come out. We're gonna see if we get it this week. If we don't get it this week, then I'm gonna get concerned that we're gonna have to wait months in advance to get this DLC. And I know this for a fact because
either that or until the end of the month, which is ridiculous.
Which is absolutely ridiculous. And on top of that, 2K, and now this is where the Raw thing comes in. On Monday Night Raw, they had basically basketball star Tyrese Halliburton there because basically getting ready for the conference finals, which is coming up tonight. I will be watching the game tonight. Gonna be fun. That Knicks place is gonna be rocking. New York is gonna explode.
Yes.
Can't fucking wait. Tyrese versus Jalen. If y'all some basketball fans,
even though I'm not a Knicks fan.
I'm not a Knicks fan. Like I said, I am a born Lakers fan, but I will be watching for entertainment purposes as a basketball fan. Like especially like the Thunder and Timberwolves series as well, entertainment purposes. So because again, I just love basketball.
And I was gonna ask you when is the Minnesota and
well, game 1 already happened in the Thunder one, but for game 2...
Oh, okay. Yeah, when is game 2?
I can give you a date. Give me a minute.
Because I can't lie, to be honest, you mind saying, who do you think will win? I mean, we'll go to the finals or win?
Please. I mean, we're in an NBA conversation at this point, so shit. Ooh, why not?
I mean, for me,
I'll do the same.
I think I'm gonna go with Timberwolves and the Knicks.
Everyone's been saying, I mean, the story writes itself. Think about this. The man who got traded, okay, Karl Anthony Towns, trying to get revenge on his team that traded him away.
Yes.
To try to win a championship.
I forgot he was a part of there.
Exactly. But on top of that, what about Julius Randle? He was a Knicks legend, and he also got traded by the Knicks.
And here's the crazy thing about that, regarding Julius Randle, is that he was starting to become a big name. But by the time, he was really starting, and there was so much popularity, surrounding him. But then eventually, they traded him.
Bro, I literally remember, and shout out to my friend Tyrese, humongous Knicks fan, probably the biggest Knicks fan I know. I was talking to him about it. I was like, I was even like telling him like kind of in a joking way, but I was like, you still ride or die with Julius, and like, yeah, he's done a lot for the city. Yes, there were times where he struggled, but he was so loyal to us and did so much for us. I can't hate on him, man. Even if he gets traded, I can't boo him. I just can't. And I'm like, I respect that.
He did do that. I do agree, though.
I can't lie. Other than Jalen Brunson, he put that city back on the map. Before Jalen got there, it was Julius. Julius put that city back on the map when it comes to basketball. In 2020, they made the playoffs for the first time in years. Like, and that's not easy to do in that kind of 2020 environment with no fans. Like, that shit is impossible. And he did that.
Yeah, no, very true. And which is why I want to ask you though, do you think that his popularity is still there even when he's traded?
I mean, Timberwolves fans love him, and because like I said, my good friend Matt, who's starting to get into basketball and loves the Timberwolves, obviously loves Ant, of course, but he respects Julius. He respects the work Julius has done for the team. Even and I can't forget the other one that they traded. They traded their Villanueva brother in Dante DiVincenzo. So that was another one that they wanted to keep, but they traded him. So on top of that, I was basically like damn, like it's gonna be interesting if they ever face in the playoffs or if they ever come back to New York, how they actually be. And when they came back to New York, during the regular season, the love was incredible there for those two, and I know why. They helped the Knicks win a lot more games than people thought they would win. Yes, when they got Cat, they were like, okay, this is either going to be a championship win or bust. But in the beginning of the regular season, they didn't show they were a championship contender until we started playing playoffs. Once playoffs began, the Knicks just said, you know what, we're turning on the gears, we're going to play well, and we're going to try to win a goddamn championship. And now they're in a position, if they can get past, by the way, I'm not sleeping on the Pacers. Pacers are a sneaky good team. If they can get past Tyrese and the Pacers, on them neither. I ain't sleeping on them either, because Tyrese is a bad man. He sent the first seeded Cavs home. That's not easy to do. So kudos to Tyrese. And
not only that, though, I mean, he's been on fire though with that. And not only that, though, he still has to with the Knicks, and he beat the Knicks too a lot of times.
Oh yeah, so he knows the formula to win. That's why I wouldn't doubt Mr. Alex Shelley too much.
Tyrese,
Tyrese Halliburton. Yeah, no, for sure.
But I gotta admit, the only disappointing disappointing part about him is that they're announcing him for already the second pack, but we're not even done.
That's what I was gonna get into. So this is no disrespect to Tyrese Halliburton, the human. Okay, Lola.
Yes.
I'm happy for Tyrese because it's one of his dreams. Yeah. He loves wrestling. He said it on many accounts. He's a fan. He loves wrestling. When he did the thing at MSG with Logan Paul and Jalen, and they had like the you know, when they were making like the Game 8 and stuff, it was such a cool crossover because they were in the Garden, and Tyrese is absolutely despised in the Garden. So it just it made it so much fun. It's just like a fun sports moment with wrestling.
And I've never seen that in a player in probably years. There hasn't probably been a player that's been booed so much in the Garden right now other than Tyrese Halliburton in years.
Like the only person I can think of is probably Trae Young. Like the only other person I can even think of.
Wasn't that well yeah, for a little while he was. I don't know if he still is, but
oh yeah, no. New York fans still despise him to this day.
Okay, oh man. Okay. And that was like a few years ago. I'm like, wow, no, he had a lot of heat for that.
But again, it was just because the rivalry between the Hawks and the Knicks, and also just the play of Trae Young during that series. I mean, I get it, you know. So, but like for Tyrese's sake, when I'm dissing this like pack and stuff, okay, and why I'm dissing 2K, I'm not dissing Tyrese the person. I'm not dissing his model. His model is spot on. It looks exactly like him. It's a pretty good model.
Or the player, though, too. Though.
Or the player itself. Yeah, I'm not dissing none of that. If you're into that NBA stuff, like how I am, I'm going to have as much fun with that pack as I possibly can. But here's my problem with 2K. You announce a celebrity, okay? Celebrity coming into the game. We don't get that. You know what? You need a couple weeks? Fine. I'm still mad at you, but whatever. But this is where you kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. You have Tyrese say, hey, I got an epic announcement coming up, you know, on Raw. And we're like, okay, what could that be? Is he announcing he's going to be at a pay-per-view? Is he announcing something for Indianapolis? Is he announcing, you know, maybe a shirt or something? Which he did announce he is having a shirt. There is a shirt on WWE Shop you can buy, so cool, you know. But that's not what it was. They basically, for some fucking reason, announced already, because we already knew, announced that he's going to be in the Duncan Destruction pack, which is the pack next month. But we don't have the other DLC. Like, wait, there's a confusion here. Wait a minute. Now I'm confused. Yeah. Like, what? Why is 2K announcing one superstar, which, I mean, I appreciate giving us the early look already so we know what to expect. But, like, you could have just done a tweet about that. You could have just done the screenshot on Twitter and we would have been like, all right, cool. But you had Tyrese do a whole promotion on Raw about it when we already knew. We already know who the NBA guys are. It's going to be Tyrese Halliburton, Jalen Brunson, and the rumor is Shaq. Those are the three. But like, bro, like we already knew it was going to be Tyrese. Like Tyrese did a eyes emoji after 2K was announced already. I already knew it was going to be Tyrese. So why the fuck would you announce it again on Raw when we already know it was going to be him? That's problem number one. Problem number two, 3 NBA stars and none of those have NXT slots is fucking ridiculous. We don't have Zarya. We don't have Adriana Rizzo. We don't have Carmen Pekovic. And you're announcing NBA stars over them when we need more NXT talent? It's a fucking travesty. It is an absolute travesty. And like I said,
honestly, I feel like that's a crime. Not bringing
generally
that
it is.
Have still been in WWE for almost a year, and you haven't given them spots in WWE.
Dude, we don't have the complete set of like great women. Yeah. Like, bro, the women's division is so loaded in NXT. There are women in there that are not in this game yet, or gonna miss out this year when they could have been in here this year. So, like, for instance, right? I'm very happy. We finally got Lola Vice, Jada Parker, Thea Hale. I'm very happy we got all of them, right? Because there are people that we're missing. But we're still missing, you know, Adriana Grace. We're missing Adriana Rizzo. We're missing Carmen Pekovic. We're missing Zarya. So, like, we're still missing women that are on TV every week. We're still missing them.
Some tag teams, too.
Oh, yeah. Hank and Tank?
The rest of the family. Yep, the rest of the family.
No Hank and Tank. And they're the champions, by the way. Just want to put it out there. They're the champions. Yeah. You were able to fix... Oh, another good thing about the update, they did fix the Fraxium entrance where it actually is Fraxium, so good fix, 2K. Yeah. But, like, you know... like
this pass fix?
Yeah, where, like, they fixed the Tron where it actually feels like when you use Fraxium...
I forgot, where do I look them up? The newest patch, because I didn't even know we had a patch today. Yeah, let me look.
I got you. But my point is to like finish up on this conversation.
Yeah.
How do you have celebrities that we should have in our hands, but you already announcing the NBA stars without even giving us a hint on what the celebrity can be? We're like guessing out here. What the hell is it gonna be? Is it gonna be Travis Scott? Is it gonna be Speed? Is it gonna be KSI? What is it gonna be? Because if you're gonna leave us in the dark for another month on what this thing is, and all you say in very vague text, by the way, in the coming weeks, then you're basically false advertising because you said it yourself. Celebrities are coming to the game. But now we gotta wait weeks? And I'm worried that that's gonna be the same thing for the pack in July, which is my second most anticipated pack, which is Penta, Jordan Grace, and New Jack. Like, if I don't get my celeb in that pack, they did this whole celeb thing so wrong. It's criminal. Because people that have the season pass, which I've seen a bunch of people buy the season pass, they want their content. Because if they don't get all the content, then what the fuck is the point of telling us, hey yo, DLC on the way? At that point, you should just give us the celebs for free. At that point. Because you are basically saying all DLC celebs are coming to the game, but we gotta wait weeks. It just doesn't add up.
Or the end of the month, which is ridiculous. And,
absolutely ridiculous. Like, if we go into June and I don't know what the celebrity is, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. Because then we gotta get ready for the Dunkin' Destruction pack, which is coming out in June.
Not only that, though, I'm just gonna say, you know what? I'm sad to say this, but I don't want no celebrities.
If this is how they're gonna handle it, then what the hell's the point? I'm hoping, my hope is, and this is the only optimism I'll give it, for July. They're only doing this because, you know, they have the thing ready. They just wanted to wait a little longer. And in the one in July, we're gonna get that celebrity at launch. If I could just get that, then I could let the first one slide and kind of live with it. But if this happens in the second pack with Penta, Jordan Grace, and New Jack, and I only get those three, and I don't get the celebrity that I paid for, I'm gonna blow another gasket. Like, the management is so bad. Like, the way they're managing this is so bad. Yeah. Like, it's frustrating.
Because there's no point in, you know, having these celebrities if you're not gonna have them right away.
Have them launch, yeah. And like I said, if you would have said
like this though, I want what I pay for. That's what
exactly.
It is. I want what
That's how I feel. And I'm a season pass owner. I pay for the season pass. I pay for that shit. Yeah. I need my content. One too. I understand. If you say, hey, we just need like a few days of delay, or hey, we need a week delay, that's fine. But why did you tell us last minute? If you would have told us, I don't know, a week in advance, hey, that celebrity's not going to be able to launch. Give us a little time. I still would have been mad, but you know what? They were honest. They're like, you know what?
I would have let it slide.
I would have lived with that. Okay, but you know what? Take as much time as you need. Make sure that celebrity is great. But you didn't do that. You waited until the night of the DLC, a night before, to give us VC for free, which I appreciate the VC, but then say celebrity coming in the coming weeks. Like, that's such a lazy, like, like.
All I'm gonna say is that it better come by next week, at least by next week.
Yeah, if we don't get it this week, but if I don't get it by next week, going into the end of May, oh my God, I'm gonna be frustrated because I'm gonna be like, bro, why are you taking so long?
What a waste! What a waste!
And you had months to plan this. You planned DLC months in ahead. You should have had it set up. Like, what is going on with the scheduling? I don't know. Like, I really don't know what's going on with the scheduling. So for right now, I can't judge the DLC because again, I was gonna do a whole review on the DLC, and this is only my half review because I don't have the celebrity in my hands, so I can't tell you the rest of it. I can only tell you like 90% of it, because I still need a celebrity in my hand. Because that's part of the pack. I gotta review everything. So until that thing drops, I can't give a full synopsis on this DLC. I can't do it yet. I can only rate on what I have.
And I think this though. What's the wait? So how many seasons are there? How many packs are there? Like what? 5 total?
Like 5, 6. The latest pack is going to be in November with Saturday Night's Main Event with Jesse Ventura.
So, oh yeah. So what about this? By the 4th pack, we decide if this was a good idea to have celebrities this year again or not.
Or a bad idea.
By the 4th pack.
Alright, I agree with that. Alright, yeah. 4th pack. It's okay, I'm giving you the next 4 packs to get your shit together when it comes to celebrities. Because if I hear this whole NBA bullshit, I don't get these NBA stars at launch, and then I gotta wait until, August to get the other celebrity.
Yeah.
By September, when those packs are out.
Or almost at the end of the month.
Almost, and literally, if I gotta wait until like September, when I come back and review these in September, when we come back to this conversation, I'm either gonna be like, say like, this was a cool idea, but you need to fix your time management, or be like, bro, don't do this again. Don't fucking do it. Or if you are gonna do it, be more transparent with us. And be honest with us. If the dude's not gonna drop at launch, just tell us we need an extra week. We will understand. People will get it. Will understand. They'll be mad, but they'll at least be like, all right, they were honest with us.
Either that, or just pay for the regular version. Hey, you know what? I'm waiting until everything is officially out. I'm purchasing it. I'm not gonna wait until.
Yeah, no, yeah. That's another thing. That's another thing. You're entitled to whatever you want to spend. If you want celebrities in the game, cool, fine. I got no issue with that. No, but again, if this is how they're gonna do it going forward, or they're gonna make us wait 2, 3, 4 weeks for a celebrity when we should have it already, it's basically false advertisement. It's not right. And 2K needs to do better with that. Because again, this year I'm generally enjoying the game this year. I won't lie. It's been a couple months.
Me too.
And I've been having fun. Like I've had a blast playing this. Like I've actually been playing a lot more than I thought I would this year. And I'm very grateful for that.
Online has been so much better.
Since the patch, it's been
so
much better.
Much better.
So
much better.
I haven't lagged out as much.
Tires haven't glitched at all, because I like to see other
they finally fixed it where tires work finally. So
amazing,
not as
great,
buggy.
and hopefully they keep it up after this.
And keep it up with those free entrance and updates to Trons. Keep that up. I know a lot of people have been waiting for AJ Styles to change his music because they only have the heel one. I do hope that happens.
I hope that they do.
Because it's a lot. But it happens. It is what it is.
Who knows? Who knows? Probably the next pack or two.
And then there's also a rumor that they want to bring potentially a free superstar, and the rumors potentially Goldberg because of his retirement match. That'd be a nice addition. Free Goldberg.
That'd be cool.
Wouldn't mind that.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool. So there's stuff coming out. I won't lie. Am I gonna basically use Travis Scott as probably a punching bag and goof around? Yeah. But if Travis is one of them, I'm not gonna be mad at it. You know what? I'm interested using Travis. Why not? So
no problem.
So but as long as it's on time, I can live with that. So
great.
But
I think No, my fault. I was just gonna say.
Go ahead.
No, my fault. I was just gonna say one last thing. About my thoughts on celebrities in general and just wrestling video games. Great, because again, wrestling and the entertainment industry are so aligned together. Though it's great to have that. Maybe one or two, but to have so many of them after not having your superstars that are on your brand still not in the game.
Yeah.
I can't lie, it's a little disappointing. I cannot lie.
Imagine this, because I know, Fortnite and Call of Duty have done some great crossovers with some great, things and everything. Imagine Fortnite said,
it's the biggest crossover game ever.
Yeah. Imagine Fortnite saying this, hey, we got an epic crossover coming out with so-and-so, and we're going to release it on this date. But then it doesn't come out on this date, and they basically lied to you. You're going to be like, bro, where's the update? But they don't tell you anything. They don't say why it's delayed. They just say, we need a few more weeks. People are going to be like, bro, you could have told us a week in advance, hey, it's going to be delayed, and we would have been all right with it. But you didn't tell us shit.
We could have been informed. Yeah.
That's the problem with it. They never informed us that the DLC was going to be kind of, you know, like like it wasn't going to be there. Like they weren't honest with it. If they would have been honest and say, "Hey, we just need like an extra 2 weeks," I would be like, you know what? I'm a little hurt, but at least y'all were honest with me and said, "Hey, you got it." You know, I would have been like, you know what? Take your time. If you need time, take time. Take your time. Like it's fine. Some delays happen. I mean, games have had delays. You know, stuff has been delayed. You know, there's some updates that get delayed. So I get it. You know, but again, my biggest problem is you didn't inform us that it was gonna need more time. If you would have informed us, I would have been like, you know what? I'm still hurt, but I appreciate you being open about it. I appreciate that. But you were not transparent with us at all. And that's the thing that just boggles my mind. Like 2K, you gotta be better with that stuff, bro.
Yeah. If you're gonna just that though,
like if you're gonna tell us, hey, bro, like we just need more time, I would be like, you know what? Go on, take as much time as you need to make sure that celebrity is good to go. But just don't leave us in the dark thinking, oh yeah, we're gonna get the celebrity launch, and then just say coming in the next weeks with just giving us free VC. Like that's. It's just
that's
lazy.
Ridiculous.
Like,
I mean, good for the money, but I mean,
I appreciate the VC. What I paid for. It was a good amount, but come on, man.
I want what I paid for. Like, come on.
Like, come on. Like,
And at the end, and if this doesn't go well, then honestly, I'm proposing a ban on celebrities in WWE. I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that too because
at the end of the day, this is a wrestling video game. We should not be posting NBA superstars on a wrestling video game instead of putting people that not only are in your roster, that has been in your roster for almost a year.
Because I get, if you're looking at the screen here, I'm at the screen right now. Look at this, Prime Bottle mascot. Okay. See, this kind of shit is fun to me because it's a free update. You just have to go on the island and grind it, and you get a Prime Bottle, and you get the parts for it, so you can put anyone in a Prime Bottle, which is hilarious. So that stuff is fun and it's free. But if you're asking for a celebrity for us to pay for, by the way, you have to pay for a pack unless you're a season pass holder. Then by all means. But
you get all of them either way, though.
Yeah.
So you just pay.
But like for people that have to pay separately and can't get the season pass.
Yeah.
Like it's just like it's such a mixed bag, Like it's just 2K just got to be better with timing. Like 2K's got to be better with those release dates. Like they just need to get better. Like it's a thing that I've hated so much about when it comes to sometimes delaying stuff. And I get why it's delayed. But in general, like it's a thing of just like you got to be better. Like you have to be better when it comes to those kind of releases. So but my final verdict is, like I said, when the celebrities come out, am I going to have as much fun with them as possible? Absolutely. But do I want to see another delay when it comes to July for the next celebrity? No! I don't want to see that. I don't want to go into August and I got to wait for a celebrity when I already have Jordan Grace and Penta, who I'm going to be using religiously, and probably New Jack religiously.
Until September,
I want to make sure that in September, the Attitude Era pack is what I'm focusing on. Because again, it's one of the more anticipated packs as well. We're getting Mark Henry. I want Mark Henry. So, yes. But, like, I want to make sure when we head into August, or right before August, even if it takes a week, at least be transparent with us and say, we need an extra week. I'm okay with that. But don't leave us in the dark and say, in the coming weeks, again, like how you did with this one. If you do it again, I'm going to get angry about it and be like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Why do you not have this celebrity shit ironed out? Why? Why? You should have had this ironed out months ago.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Okay. That's enough rambling on, even though I have potentially another rant in a few. But for now, enough with the games. Let's get to Raw. Because that's what we're here for. To Monday Night Raw. In Greensboro, North Carolina. A beautiful, beautiful wrestling city with legends and moments. This is a fun city to have Raw in. And I will give tons of credit to the crowd. That crowd was excellent tonight. great stuff. Like, absolute great stuff.
I will agree, delivering.
They were one of the best crowds you had in the U.S. in a hot minute. So kudos to Greensboro. The boys were hot the whole night. So kudos to everyone. But so yeah, we're basically normal advertising. Obviously, this Saturday night's main event, big 3 matches, and at the end of this review, we will do a quick predictions on what we think is going to happen at Saturday night's main event, which we're basically set to watch that, right? Yeah, we can watch that one, right? Right? Yeah, we can watch that one. But yeah, so basically, just want to let y'all know Saturday night's main event. If you want me to do a review on it, a quick review on it next week when the show is in the air, we could do that if you guys want. Up to y'all. But Saturday night's main event does look like the best Saturday night main event card that I've ever watched. It looks, on paper, it's stacked. There's a lot of good names in that Saturday night's main event card. So watch out for Saturday. Saturday's gonna be fun. I can't wait for Saturday. I'm definitely gonna be watching. I'm gonna have a lot of fun Saturday because there's some fun people on that card. I'm looking forward to it. That's besides the point. So yeah, they're obviously promoting Saturday night's main event. They're promoting the tag match, Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins versus CM Punk and Sami Zayn, the very unlikely duo. Should be a fun match. So now we get to who's starting off. Out comes Logan Paul, the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship versus Yeet Man Jey Uso. Main event Jey Uso. So Paul basically welcomes on the Raw. He's basically annoyed by all the Yeet chants because he basically said he basically created the Yeet chant years ago. And basically just does not like Jey. He wants to end the reign of Jey, basically. So, from there, basically, while that happens, out comes Gunther. Gunther comes to the ring. And before I get on my tangent, because I got some thoughts about this, I'm gonna let the segment play out. I'll explain. So the former World Heavyweight Champion Gunther comes out.
You mind if I go first with that? Before you go?
Oh, when we do the ring, yeah. Let me just analyze the segment, and
I'll. Go ahead.
I'll let you go. Former heavyweight champion Gunther interrupts the promo. Gunther will challenge the champion in 3 weeks. I'll explain why that's kind of a problem to me. I'll explain.
Yeah.
We'll challenge the World Heavyweight Championship in 3 weeks. The crowd chants, obviously, you tapped out. Obviously, at WrestleMania, he did tap out. Gunther says to Paul he's confident that he can beat the guy who beat Gunther. This is Paul basically speaking. So Gunther is left to assume that Paul thinks he's better than Gunther is, which is completely false. Gunther says that the fans should show, more respect to Paul, which is crazy. I would never thought Gunther would be giving praise to Paul. That's unheard of. Gunther basically calls Paul a self-made social media superstar who built a digital platform or digital empire. Gunther says there are things that he can learn from Paul. Gunther admits that there are things Paul could teach him. Gunther said Paul as world champion would be good for business. It would make money. Gunther said beating up Jey Uso for the world title is personal to him. So if Paul takes it away, then Gunther will take that personally. So Gunther basically is like, I would love for you to end the reign of the Yeet Man, but I want to do it myself. I don't want you to do it. It's a fair argument. So then Gunther basically, Gunther takes it personally. Then Gunther says to Pat McAfee, at least he showed some heart against him. So he gave Pat a little respect there. But he doesn't see heart in Paul. Ouch. Gunther says if he squares off on June 9th in Phoenix, which that's where the title match will happen, the bell rings and Gunther will eat him alive. And Gunther leaves. So basically Gunther sent the message, before we get to the next part of the segment, of saying to Paul, if you somehow beat Jey, which I will even be very surprised if Logan even does this. If Logan beats Jey, Gunther is fine with facing Logan, but he wants to be the one to beat Jey, not Logan. Because Gunther has some very personal beef with Jey.
And look at it like this, though, real quick regarding Gunther and Jey, is that Gunther defeated Jey on Raw for the Intercontinental title, the first time they met.
Yes. Yes.
He beat him at Saturday Night Main Event for the world title.
That he did. Yes. That he did.
But the one time he lost to Jay finally beat him, was at the grandest stage of them all. When you look at that, though, that is the biggest stage of them all, and you lost. Not only did you lose, you quit. You tapped out. So it's all about and I think it was a big embarrassment for Gunther, considering that he's lost. He's lost technically 2 WrestleMania matches in a row. Mm-hmm. Technically, because he lost to Sami Zayn last year for the Intercontinental title, and now he lost to Jay for his world title, and he was world champion going into it. Mm-hmm. And he only went out of WrestleMania 39 as the Intercontinental Championship one time, so he's technically 1-2 when it comes to title matches at WrestleMania, which is not bad of a record though. But he lost the world title at WrestleMania to Jay. And that was humiliating as it is.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest stage out of the last 2 title matches that they've had against each other. Yeah. So Gunther needs this as much as Logan Paul needs this.
Absolutely.
Which with Logan Paul, I mean, he's been facing them at pay-per-views or whatnot for the regular PLE events, but again, he just has had a big losing streak since losing the U.S. title.
Which, he had that losing streak, and then obviously at WrestleMania this year, even via cheat, and obviously Karrion Kross getting involved, he did end the streak with a win against AJ Styles, even if it was controversial. It's a win. So he basically got back into the winning ways by beating AJ. But it was going to be interesting to see what was next for Logan, and giving Jay a solid first opponent. This is going to be Jay's. Actually, no, he defended against Rollins in a way. But, pay-per-view kind of, defense. On Saturday nights on a big stage. Logan wouldn't have been my first choice. But if you want a genuine dude that just gets heat and just boos, he is kind of the perfect guy. Because he's probably the most guy that gets the most hate. It used to be Dom. But Dom be now getting face reactions. People love Dom.
Now Dom is starting to get love now.
There's an occasional boo in here, obviously because Dom cheats. Yeah. But they actually support that now. They be changing his name. They be saying
they love it.
When he does the stomps in the corners, when he's supposed to be kicking the ref count, they just yag him on. Yeah, keep going. They love this guy. So yes, while Dom is still a bastard, he is a bastard that we love because he's just great. So that's why when I heard this matchup was happening, it was happening Saturday night and not Night of Champions, which we're going to find out who's going to find him in Night of Champions. Again, Night of Champions is the next pay-per-view in June. I was like, okay, so if they're going to do the Logan match now, we'll see what they got planned for Jay after this. After everything. And then now they're not doing the Gunther match in Saudi Arabia. They're doing the Gunther match in 3 weeks at Phoenix, which will be 2 weeks after Jay hopefully retains. Now I got questions what happens after that. So, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens after that in that case. So to wrap it up in the extra segment, then I'll get into my reasoning why I'm kind of a little indifferent with what's going on with, not obviously Jay's reign or anything, but the people that got lined up for him. So obviously Logan basically turns around and eats a massive super kick as Jay hopped the barricade and super kicked the shit out of Logan. Sending a message once again, basically saying, "I'm the champion. You're basically not winning."
You're not taking my title, basically.
No. I'm basically keeping it. So yeah, cool message, funny sell that Logan took the super kick. It was a nice sell. And again, like I said, segment-wise, enjoyed it. It was good. Gunther's always great on the mic. I enjoyed that part. Here's my problem, though.
Yeah.
It's nothing against Gunther. Does Gunther, do the rematch with Gunther? Yeah, at some point, I would have been like...
At some point, yeah.
You do the rematch. But here's my problem.
I would have said either midsummer or late summer.
Yeah. Around, maybe not at SummerSlam, but around that range and be like, yeah, do it. I'm cool with that. We need the rematch. Yeah. But here's my problem. Here's my massive problem. You're doing it 3 weeks, technically 2 weeks, after Saturday night's main event and before Night of Champions. And you're doing it so early. That's my problem. It shows me that other than Rollins, you don't have anybody built up that's not rematches, except for Logan, because Logan's the new face in it. Logan never fought for... He only fought for Cody's title. He never fought for the world title. But that's the only new challenger you have. You don't have anybody else. Anybody else. Nobody in the roster's built. Like, really? There's no one else in that roster that I can think of that can get an opportunity? Which is kind of worrying a little bit. I can't even... I'm a little worried. If all they got is the Gunther rematch...
Yeah.
And this is no disrespect to Gunther, because I do want that rematch, and I will watch in 3 weeks. That match is going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great Raw main event. Yeah. But, like, this early? Like, you couldn't let it breathe a little bit, at least?
And not just that, though. I mean, even though I feel like that Logan Paul didn't deserve a world title match because he hasn't earned it, you know, I do feel like that WWE trusts him to be a big mega heel that, you know, can put Jay over as well. Because a lot of people or some people say, and I think I respect this and understand this a lot more, that it's the heel's job to make the baby faces good.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's the same for baby faces, but I think it's mostly for the heels.
Mostly for the heels,
if you can't make him look good as a face, what makes you think that you're going to be good as a heel?
Exactly.
That's why it's so important, though. And which is why I feel like that, even though I feel like Logan Paul doesn't deserve the world title opportunity, I think that WWE trusts him to go for the world title. Not only that, though, they, you know, see a big star in him in the future, and I do think that as well. Even though he's already had many of the world title matches unproven since probably the U.S. title reign.
Yeah.
I think him and Jay are going to be good. And I gotta admit, I do agree with Gunther and Jay, you know, having a title match, a rematch after the WrestleMania match so early. I do disagree with that.
Like, it's way too early. It's so early. Like I understand if it was like 2 months after the WrestleMania match. That's at least a 2-month span of Jay defending the title. I would have been okay with that.
Yeah.
But y'all didn't even give it a month to breathe. And y'all doing the rematch now. And we still have Night of Champions coming up after this. Like, Saturday's main event is just a stopgap. Like, WWE's not even the main pay-per-view that night. NXT is the main pay-per-view in Tampa. They're the main star, which, by the way, very much looking forward to Battleground. But, like, still, come on, like I said, the Saturday night's main event thing, I'm pretty happy about because I think it's a nice match to have on Saturday night's main event. Really nice little title match, you know, start to show that we want to defend the titles more on those cards. I'm cool with that because that makes sense. But after that, just makes no sense to me, especially after the way Gunther lost. Like, you're expecting me to believe that Gunther's gonna win that title again so soon? No. Yeah. If anything, he's done everything on Raw. If like he won the IC title, won it on Raw, bought it over to Raw after they did the transfer, won the world title. Boom, the main thing you want to do. Held it for a long time. He did everything you would want him to do. So why put him back in the rematch now when you could have totally saved it for like a month or two and do it either at Night of Champions or do it at a different pay-per-view at a different time and give Jay someone new to face? Because my problem that I'm going to worry for Jay is they're just going to give him the same people and nothing fresh except for, and I hate to say it, Logan Paul, which is blasphemy. There's no way you don't have any other contenders ready for Jay, other than obviously, like I said, the obvious one is Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins. They proved it on Raw. That match is going to be ridiculous, and I have a feeling Rollins is easily the highest contender to take that title off Jay, and I actually kind of want that to happen. So kudos to Seth Rollins.
And not just that, the Money in the Bank is almost around the corner though too.
Oh yeah, I think this year they're not wasting the Money in the Bank briefcase. They're gonna save that briefcase this year. This year they want a Money in the Bank winner. They want one. Like the only other Money in the Bank winner we had last year was Tiffy. We didn't have a men's one because Drew cashed in the night of and got screwed over by Punk. If you remember. I don't think they're gonna do that this year. I think this year we are gonna get a Money in the Bank holder. Like we're gonna get one for both brands. We're gonna get one for the men's and we're gonna get one for the women. I think. So, that's another thing to keep in mind that could potentially, the guy that wants to go to Raw could cash in on Jay. But at least that's something different and something we can do, you know? But yeah, like this Gunther thing in the middle is frustrating because I don't want to disrespect Gunther getting this shot. I really don't. Because Gunther has earned every single shot that he's done in WWE. Every title he's won, he earned it. It's not even a thing where he wasn't handed to him. No, he earned that shit. He worked hard to win those titles. The IC title, he earned that shit. He earned that immediately. The world title, earned it. He didn't he didn't use a Money in the Bank briefcase. He didn't use anybody. Yes, I get it. There was a betrayal for Finn, but he earned it. He won it. He won it in a way, even though it's the wrong way. He won it. Like, he won the title. And that's why this is no disrespect to Gunther, the man himself. This is a disrespect to the booking. Guys, you're telling me in that full-ass locker room, which Raw has the bigger roster, by the way. Yes. You're telling me you got no one lined up to face Jay that's new? Not even like a young upstart that, like, even though they might not even like a young like guy that got called up or something that you can just throw in real quick and see how he does, like do like a swim with the fishes kind of thing.
Whoop that trick.
Oh, whoop that trick. But regardless, like none of that. No. Okay, unfortunately, I guess Gunther, for some reason, is the only one. And I'm like I said, I'm not trying to disrespect Gunther at all. Gunther's a fantastic wrestler. Him and Jay are gonna have a great match on Monday Night Raw in Phoenix. That match is gonna be great. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. But brother, nobody else.
The issue is that it's too early.
It's too early. Way too early. And I get you want to promote a big Monday Night Raw in Arizona. You want to have a massive main event. I respect that. They did the same thing with Rollins, and I was so game for it. That match went 20 minutes, and it was fucking great. It proved to me that match, when they do the story again, is going to hit different. Yeah. It's going to hit different. Like, it's going to be great.
And the reason why I say, you know, what I'm going to say now regarding this match is, what if this happens? What if, you know, if Jay retains? He faces Gunther. But what if Logan Paul says he's not done yet? What if Logan Paul attacks both Jay and Gunther? Costs Gunther the title match. Triple threat
match.
Jay a defense. Which is
I see what you're planning.
For
a triple threat match? See, now
Make it
now I'm intrigued. If they go that route, then I can forgive the Gunther early match. I can forgive it. But if there's no interruption and Jay just wins clean, I'm going to be conflicted and be like, I'm happy. He won. But
happy Jay retained. But
absolutely. But I'm going to be like, back-to-back tough losses for Gunther other than the win against Pat. Oh, rough.
But at the same time, you know, Pat McAfee is not a wrestler. He competed as a wrestler. He's a celebrity.
Oh, yeah, no. He's put in the work. It's not even a thing where he's, like, handed. No, he put in the work. He's athletic. Yeah. He's gifted. Don't get me wrong.
Of course.
He played football. But he is not a full-time wrestler, broski. He is a celebrity-style wrestler where he wrestles once in a blue moon. Yep. Just like how it was with Bad Bunny. And the only other one that's done like a full-time thing is technically Logan, because Logan's done more matches. So Logan has the more experience. Yeah. That's why I don't count him as like a celebrity really anymore. I count him as a social media icon. He's doing
this as full-time now.
But as a full-time, like I call him a superstar now. I don't call him you know, a celebrity. I call him a social media superstar. That's what I call him because he's a genuine wrestler now. Yeah.
And he's not just that though. He's been committing. He's been committing to.
Yeah, no, he's committed. So. He's put all like the other activities, you know, you do your Impulsive podcast and stuff, which is on the low.
Boxing. He might be
boxing here and there, you know, you You go to Jake's fights, whatever. But the one thing you commit to, and you've been very open about this, is he's committed to wrestling. He's not committing to one other thing. He's doing wrestling full time. So, which I'm, like I said, I'm very happy about that. So that's why I don't call Logan a celebrity anymore. But to basically wrap it up on this whole Gunther debacle, I don't want to ever shit on the greatness that Gunther has done, because in his early time in the Triple H era, man's won 2 championships and had 2 fantastic reigns. But the fact that he's getting this shot so early just boggles my mind. It's not even a thing of hating on Gunther himself. It's not even that. It makes sense because Gunther was going to get that rematch no matter what. Yeah, no matter what. He gets first dibs. No matter what. Even if he comes later on in the months, he would have got first dibs no matter what. But my problem, it's too early. It is way too early. That's my issue.
And I'm like this though. Other than Logan Paul, you guys have no one else. You can't even set up a little mini tournament.
I was gonna say, to
find a winner for Jake.
What about the triple threat? What about triple threat matches and the winner faces the champ? What about you have 3 of the people that are unproven or are trying to be proven? Put those 3 in the triple threat, and then put another set of 3, and do like a tournament style, and then the winner of the finals faces Jay. It's that simple.
You know what I saw? You know what I saw? I saw a post where how come some people are upset that Karrion Kross didn't get any time but on main event, but Tyrese Halliburton got 10 minutes on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, I thought like I said, when I heard, like, this is the last thing I'll talk about the Tyrese thing, so I'm gonna skip over when we do the review. But last thing about that, I understand if you promote him for like, quick 5 minutes, just to say, hey, he's coming to the game. He has a quick little interview just saying, I'm very grateful, I'm, big fan, this and that. Normal stuff. It's advertisement, but at least it's quick. Because usually they're like 2-minute, maybe 5-minute advertisements, depending if it's an announcement. But y'all let this man go for 10 minutes. And Karrion Kross is getting face reactions on main event against Tyler Bate. And he's not on at least once. Last week he was at least on in the background, and he was also having a promo. But you couldn't give him that?
And
by the way, he is the number 1 seller in the fucking WWE shop. They had to put shirts in the fucking arena. He never had that before. You could go to an arena now and buy a Karrion Kross shirt. Like, for real.
Crazy.
Like, you can go to a WWE event and you could probably find a Karrion Kross shirt. And people would be like, hell yeah.
He's spending his own money to be invested.
Yes.
Crazy.
And the way he's committing right now believes to me that he's probably re-signed and he's for the long haul. Because there's no way he would be doing all this commitment and not saying, oh, I'm thinking about my options. Because yes, I know, his contract is coming up this year. But it looks like he might have low-key... I wouldn't surprise me if he announces in like a couple months, yeah, no, I've re-signed with the company months ago. I just kept that because WWE loves hiding the re-signs. But if Karrion Kross announces he re-signed, the way they're giving him love right now, even if he's not doing anything on Raw, I respect it because he's starting to get the reactions you want him to get. People are starting to get behind this man. People are like, yo, we feel for your story. We want to get behind you and, have that kind of LA Knight style breakout. Like, where, like, LA Knight had the fans behind him, but WWE didn't quite put it on him yet. And then right after he won the Slim Jim Battle Royale, everything changed. Everything changed. Won his first title, started having bigger matches, potentially could go back in the world title scene in the future. Like, LA Knight's future is bright. And I want the same for Kerry. But the fact you got celebrities out here, and you couldn't even give at least a decent 5 minutes to Karrion Kross, is an injustice. And I hope that never happens again. Because this man is starting to finally get behind the people. And that's why my hope is in the next week when they start continuing announcing qualifiers. He's in one of those qualifiers. And I hope he wins it. Because I want Karrion Kross in Money in the Bank. That's the only thing I can think of giving him a big opportunity. Even if he doesn't win. Give him the biggest spotlight you can ever give him so he can prove to people that man has potential. That's the best way to do it. Do it in front of a big LA crowd, Money in the Bank, into an arena. Biggest spotlight. That's the only way you get Kross in his big kind of hello moment. Even if he doesn't win Money in the Bank. Big moment. Karrion Kross basically does really well in the ladder match. Shines. Bright spot of the match. MVP potential. Because if I don't see him in that goddamn qualifier matches, the Money in the Bank, I'm gonna fucking scream. And I'm gonna be like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you not giving him a qualifier match? Like you giving everybody else a qualifier match.
How are you not giving your top one merch selling right now
a
qualification match?
Just
At
a
least
chance.
A qualification.
A chance to get in the Money in the Bank. Even if he doesn't get in, a chance to show the people that he's committed to this. He wants
or
this
even
to
get
work.
in, you know.
Or get in, yeah, that'd be great.
In my opinion, if he does win the qualifying match, or if he is even signed for a qualifying match, I'm cheering for him. I don't care.
Yo, I'm cheering for him. I want to have the best performance, even if he doesn't win. I want to have a star-making performance, or potentially surprise the world and win the damn thing.
And
one of the two.
And who do I think could win? Not only win this Money in the Bank, but have so much favor in timing and knowing when to use it? Karrion Kross.
Karrion Kross. Absolutely.
Karrion Kross is a man that is built to wait for the right moment to strike.
Absolutely.
Like a viper. And I think personally, he fits the Money in the Bank winning category in my opinion.
Absolutely. That just fits him so much. You might have to change the briefcase a little bit because the coloring just does not fit.
And think about that though, the briefcase.
But that custom briefcase, like how they did with Priest and Tiffy?
Yeah, no.
Yo,
beautiful.
That briefcase
but here's the thing, though.
Let's
make this interesting, though. If the briefcase is designed with a clock, a cryptic clock or something like that, a clock that ticks your countdown.
A clock with his logo on it. Yeah.
Yes.
That's the perfect custom briefcase. TikTok. Literally on it.
Because that's what it is.
It just makes sense. So literally, like I said, even if he doesn't win it, I hope they give him a chance to have the most star-making performance to show people that this man is here for the long haul and this man, his push is coming. Like, once he has that star-making moment, that breakout, we're like, all right, we're in for the long haul. We're ready to see what's next for this guy. And Money in the Bank is a perfect way to do that. But again, you have to put him in the match. If you don't, then you're doing him a disservice. But that aside, to finish up on this segment, right? You know, to finish up on this, you know, this idea and this segment, you know. Like I said, am I excited for, you know, Jay and Gunther in Arizona when they fight? Absolutely, because I think that match is going to be really fun. The rematch, big build-up, Gunther versus Jay Part 5, I'm here for it. But it's too early. It is just too damn early, and I just can't do it. I can't do it this early. I can't agree with it. I'm going to live with it for now, but I disagree full-heartedly.
Yeah, no, I mean, with me, you know, just to finish it off, I don't agree with it. I don't think it's a good idea. It shouldn't have been discussed this early.
No.
And I think I think, to be honest, there should have been at least a little tournament to decide who should be Jay's next challenger.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, other than that, segment was really good. Good way to start Raw. Can't wait for Saturday night's main event. Jey Uso versus Logan Paul for the first time. Gonna be a fun one.
Yep.
Now, on to the next part. Earlier in the day, a now no more NXT star has officially been called up. Now, if you did not watch SmackDown, I will at least give you this, even though I don't review SmackDown, I will at least tell you this. A new NXT superstar has joined the women's division, which I believe was a brilliant move by WWE. The beautiful madness, Julia, has officially been called up to the main roster and is on SmackDown. And she is set to get a qualifying match this Friday for Money in the Bank. Absolute perfect move here. Like, the SmackDown division needs a little bit more women depth. Getting Julia is fucking genius. When I saw that move, I was like, yes. And I'm very excited to see her getting the ring with a woman like Zelina Vega. And I know I hate to say it, Charlotte Flair. Because maybe that chemistry hits different. We're going to find out on Friday. Until then, we were like, okay, if Julia's going to SmackDown, what's Roxanne going to do? Well, we figured it out. Roxanne Perez on the dotted line. Right before the show went live, Roxanne Perez signed a Raw contract with Adam Pearce to join the Monday Night Raw roster. And Roxanne Perez's new home is Monday Night Raw, as me and you predicted. We were like, she's going to Raw. She's 100% going to Raw. We called it. She's going to Raw. Roxanne Perez is officially no more NXT. She is officially called up. She basically is done with NXT. No more Roxanne NXT. Hello, Roxanne main roster, which has been long.
Times have changed.
Times have changed for sure.
And not only that, though, Julia was called to SmackDown. I think that was pretty shocking, though, too.
That was a very brilliant move, because if there was one division that needs women, it's the SmackDown division. And Julia is one woman that, especially if she can get over with the crowd, which I think she can, she has the potential to, her style is going to fit SmackDown so well. And I'm so excited to see what she's going to do. She's already got a Money in the Bank qualifying match on Friday. Like, they're putting her to the moon already. She's going to be in the ring. Yeah. Even though I hate to say it, even though I don't like her, she is going to be in the ring with technically one of the higher women in the division. Even though I don't want to say that, Charlotte, I guess. And underrated Zelina, because Zelina's underrated. So, it should be a fun qualifier.
Julia all the way. I'm cheering for Julia.
Julia or Zelina for me, but specifically Julia. I would love for Julia to be in this. But, regardless, that's really cool. But what about Roxanne? What is Roxanne going to do since she signed? Well, it was announced, basically before, after signing, Roxanne also is getting a Money in the Bank qualifier later in the night, as she is going to take on Rhea Ripley and the returning Kairi Sane. Very cool to see Kairi back. And we'll talk about that match later, but Roxanne officially Monday Night Raw bound. Right move. I'm very happy. As a Roxanne fan, I'm so happy for her. She's worked so hard for this. I can't wait to see what she's going to do on Monday Night Raw, and I'm super excited for what's next for her. Especially after what they're revealing what she's going to be doing. Things are going to get spicy. I'm definitely excited, though. So, very happy for Roxanne Perez. Absolutely well deserved. Well deserved. So, as we move along, there was a segment backstage with Mr. Wiseman and Jey Uso, basically saying Seth Rollins' final goal is the World Heavyweight title, and he's coming for Jey at some point. Obviously sending a message. Basically, watch your back. Because also Jey, later in the night, is going to be fighting the dog, Braun Breaker. Alright, Manny. Next match, I'm going to let you take this away. AJ Styles and Penta versus Judgment Day's Finn Balor and JD McDonagh. With Carlito. The floor is yours, brother.
Yeah, no, this was a really fun match. Very fun match. This is what I expected from all four men. I can't lie, I was cheering for AJ and Penta to win this one, but Judgment Day somehow was able to scurry with the win. But, am I mad? No, because they need a huge win.
Not at all. But there's a reason why Penta got screwed over. A Grande Americano strikes again. Basically ripped the mask, or basically grabbed the mask. While Penta
he grabbed
was
it and then headbutted with the metal part in the back of the head.
Again! Yeah.
Crazy.
Again.
Crazy.
Those two are definitely going to have a match, and it's going to be...
Which I'm curious to say when it's going to be. I won't be mad. I mean, I'll be shocked, but...
I mean, it seems like a pay-per-view. Like, they're building up for pay-per-view, it seems like.
Yeah, no, I want it for pay-per-view.
Maybe Night of Champions?
That's what I want. That's what I want it. At pay-per-view. And Night of Champions or something.
Like, they've been saving it for a while. Maybe Night of Champions is the place they do it. Because Saturday Night's main event's already filled. Like, that card is full already. Like, they got so many matches on that card. But maybe Night of Champions, maybe it gets announced. Hey, El Grande Americano and Penta in Penta's first trip to Saudi Arabia. That's the match. That's the match.
That's gonna be interesting to see that attire.
I would love if that was announced. If they announced that, hell fucking yeah, sign me up. I want to see a series of matches with those two. Like, I want to see a series. But one specifically that I'm hoping happens is like maybe like Penta does like a 2 out of 3 falls or something like that. I would be so game for that. And then maybe it leads, whenever Ray gets back, we get that kind of mask versus mask kind of situation, and El Grande finally reveals himself. But we gotta wait for Ray to get back, because I think Ray's gonna be the one to do it. But, for Penta's sake, yeah, I think that matchup, El Grande Americano versus Gable, sorry.
Penta.
Sorry. Penta. I think it's gonna be really fun.
Yeah, no, I mean, just look at what Gable, aka Americano, has done with Phoenix. He had a very sleeper match with Phoenix, and
Absolutely.
what he's gonna do with Penta. I mean, yeah, no, this pairing has been a really great pairing since the debut of Penta. In all honesty, and I'm curious to see when it's going to be end, because I do see this going for a little longer. I do see this going maybe until honestly SummerSlam, a mask versus a mask match. I think that's what they're planning.
That would be amazing if that's the case. Yeah, awesome. That would be amazing. I'm definitely interested to see if that happens.
If we're building for the long road, I think that's where it's gonna be mask versus mask match at SummerSlam.
Absolutely. So yeah, and my take real quick on this match. Really fun tag match. I love the chemistry of Penta and AJ Styles. AJ just showing every time he's just so good. Even for his age, I love AJ Styles. And I'm loving that he's trying to get into a feud with Dom, because that is something I want to see, like a full-fledged match with those two. Because they showed a bit when AJ got back, they did a little feud with Dom, to plant the seeds, but they didn't do like a full-fledged program. Now it looks like they're going to do a full-fledged program with each other, which is hell yes. Sign me the fuck up. I'm game for that. So, but until then, happy that AJ is still doing his thing. But really fun tag match. I really like that tag match. That was fun. So then we get back from commercial. Then we get up to our next thing. Io Sky getting interviewed by Kathy Kelly. And Becky Lynch walks by. And Becky kind of gave a look of like, I'm coming back for that title. So Becky looks like she's eyeing up Io Sky as her next target. Which kind of makes sense, because that was a title that she basically lost to Liv, and she wants to get that back. It's pretty self-explanatory. So from there, then we get to our qualifying match. Our one qualifying match for the women's. And it's a very interesting three. But I like all three that were involved. You have Becky Lynch. She's won Money in the Bank before. Might as well try again. Natalya. She's never won Money in the Bank, but she's a nice veteran to have. But she's been doing some crazy stuff on NWA. I've been seeing the promos. There's something different about her in NWA. I don't know what it is, but I wish I'd seen more of that. And then obviously the one they just signed, Roxanne Perez. So Roxanne Perez does get a qualifying match in her deal of signing with Raw. So basically saying like, yeah, you're basically gonna sign with Raw, but you're gonna get a qualifying match. You're gonna get an opportunity to qualify for your first Money in the Bank ladder match, which I think is pretty dope. And how was the match? I must say, the match was actually very good. All three of those women really showed out. I thought all three women really showed out for the first qualifying match of the night. All three had surprisingly very good chemistry, and I want to give a lot of credit. I usually don't do this. I want to give a lot of credit for Natalya. Usually doesn't get as much shine, but she really proved something tonight. And maybe it's just because she did the NWA run and she's starting to take that in a little bit. But she really showed out tonight with Roxanne and Becky. Like, she really did well in that. She did not look like she was outmatched at all. And there were some times where she was kind of leading the way in the match. And I was like, oh, okay, Natalya, I see you. So I was very happy with how they booked Natalya in this. Because usually when it comes to Natalya getting opportunities, I'm kind of 50-50 on it depending on how you book her. But when you book her in the right spot, Natalya could be a solid asset, especially as a veteran. So, and definitely, obviously, because Natalya and Roxanne have worked together before in NXT when she was doing that kind of, facing rookies and stuff for Natalya. Well, kudos to Natalya. She did really well in this, even with all the circumstances. But yeah, they were going spot for spot. There was a lot of cool spots. And here's the ending sequence. So, Natalya is basically ready to go for the sharpshooter and basically wrap up Roxanne Perez. Then Becky Lynch gets involved. She looks like she's about to go for basically the manhandle slam. She hits it, and she looks like she's about to pin Roxanne. But then out of nowhere, her opponent who the one that she lost to at Backlash, Lyra Valkyria screws over Becky Lynch in the women's qualifier. So now Becky Lynch is out of Money in the Bank. And guess who takes advantage with a beautiful Pop Rocks? Roxanne Perez. And that's right, ladies and gentlemen.
My favorite
Roxanne Perez is in Money in the Bank in Los Angeles. She will qualify for her first Money in the Bank contract. Oh my god, I'm so hyped.
And not only that, though, she's the first woman of Raw to qualify, I believe.
At the time, yes, she was. She was the first one to qualify on the... I'm trying to think. They had a qualifying match on SmackDown. I believe that was for the men, right? So it was solo qualified. And then there was a women's one. Who was the women's one qualified for? I'm trying to think. No, it wasn't Michin. It wasn't Chelsea. What was it? Oh, wait. Was it? Oh, no, it was Bliss. Bliss, that was the other one. So, the two women before the next one, which came a little later on, it's now Roxanne Perez and Bliss, Alexa Bliss, to be specific, are both in Money in the Bank. A veteran who has won Money in the Bank before, and a rookie that has not won Money in the Bank, but Roxy in the Bank doesn't sound too bad. Can't even lie to you. I like that idea. She's definitely one of my favorites going into it, even though she's an underdog going into this. Even though she doesn't have as much experience. She's definitely going to be one of my picks. Watch out for Roxanne Perez in this match. She's gonna be someone to watch out for. But yeah, in general, the match was really good, really great back and forth, and I'm super excited that Roxanne Perez made it in first try. I think she's earned this, and now the crazy part is, and already her young 23-year-old, run so far on Raw. She's fought Io Sky, she's fought Rhea Ripley, and now. She's not only made her first Elimination Chamber, but now she's making her first Money in the Bank in a span of a year already. Talk about a year for Roxanne Perez. Talk about a Rookie of the Year level stuff from Roxy. You'd love to see it. But yeah, as a Roxy fan, I was so hyped when she won. She was one of my picks going into the qualifier. I wanted her to win, and they gave it to her. And I was so happy. Can't wait to see Roxy and Money in the Bank. I'm so hyped.
Yeah, I think that this, they've been building up Becky and Lyra's feud been pretty well done, honestly.
Absolutely.
Pretty shocking how good of a feud this has been. And same for Lyra, like you said, Lyra's been improving. She's impressing me more and more. And I'm interested to see, what part 2 is going to be like for the title.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no,
this will probably be announced for probably Money in the Bank, but I know somehow they try to squeeze in for Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, they always love squeezing those extra matches that fall out from Money in the Bank, because I think Money in the Bank is first. So they might squeeze it out to that. We'll see. But yeah, really awesome. Love that match. So happy Roxy got in. Money in the Bank so far is looking pretty stacked. I can't even lie to you. But for right now, that's what we have. So, the next thing we're going into, I guess I could talk about this one real quick, because this one was super short, is firstly, so, Akira Tozawa and Maxine Dupree, they walk into the general manager's office, and I'm like, I have a bad feeling this is going to go awfully. Not as, a segment, but as what they're about to axe Mr. Pierce for. Because they're basically there to axe for something. They want something in return. That's what they want.
Yeah.
And and I shit you not, when Tozawa said, I want Rusev, I was like, Tozawa, I love you so much, but you are asking to go in a grave. I'm gonna be honest with you. I love you, Tozawa. I love you. Listen, you're fighting for your brother Otis. I get it. You're fighting for your sister Maxie. I get it. But man, you gotta go in with the Bulgarian Brood. Oh, Tozawa, next week. Next week, the Redeemer is going to absolutely crush you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Honestly, there's only one thing to say. There's only one thing to say about this segment, which is a solid segment, but there's honestly one thing to say. It was at this moment he knew.
He
fucked up.
He fucked up. Pay F's to respects.
And not just that though. And not just that though, but in that match, I'm sorry, Kira, Tozawa, you're going to be crushed by Rusev.
You go show fight. I know you do. Tozawa always shows fight when it comes to these big boy matches. I respect that. But when he hits one Machka kick and then throws you around and then hits you with an accolade, your day is done. I'm very sorry. You are going in a grave. I'm very sorry. I respect why you're doing it. You're fighting for Otis. I get it. But you are really asking to die. You are asking to die. And it's going to be a murder next week after Saturday night's main event. It's going to be a fucking murder. I can already tell. But yeah, Rusev versus Tozawa next week. That's the announcement. Tozawa versus Rusev next week. So yeah. Okay, next thing for you, Manny. Sheamus versus Grayson Waller with Theory at ringside.
Pretty good match. I can't lie, but I feel like now is the time for Theory and Grayson Waller to finally split up.
I just want to say this one thing. This is how you know people want Theory free. He was getting Austin Theory chance. Who would have told you years ago, as a heel, you're going to get Austin Theory chance? I would be like, you're crazy. You're wildin'. He's getting chance now. They want this man free. They want Theory to go on his own. And I am one of those people of about probably 1,000. I'm one of those people. Don't get me wrong. Did I like the experiment of bringing in Grayson Waller to the main roster to team up with a guy that has the same personality and the same douchebaggery as Austin Theory? Yes. Because I think A-Town Down Under in the beginning, when they won Tag Gold and they were defending the titles and having that consistent reign, it worked. The chemistry you wouldn't think would work. But a very brash, outspoken Aussie and a man that's basically a muscle freak and athletically gifted, it worked because, again, they figured out how to make it work. And I think A-Town Down Under as an experiment, it was honestly, like I said, it wasn't like the craziest successful, but I think in the end, for how long they've been, I would call it a success. Weirdly enough, you wouldn't think I'd call it a success, but I would call it a success. Because they won the tag team titles, something they wanted to do. They've been in title matches for a long time. They've had showcases. They even had a feud with Oba Fleming at NXT. And even though that was weird, again, it's a title match. So, I do, like you said before, I do 100% agree. It's time to break them up. If Theory is getting Austin Theory chance when he is supposed to be a heel, at that point, it's time. At that point, when Theory is getting Austin Theory chance from the crowd, and he was even shocked, you know it's time. It's time to break them up. It's time to do the story. You put it on the back burner for so long. You moved on the Raw so they can get away from SmackDown. I get it. But now it's time to put it into motion. It's time to start the program, to start the rivalry, start the breakup. Slowly but surely break these two apart.
This has been going on for almost a year. Two years. 2 years at this point.
Yeah, 2 years.
And they still haven't broke them up yet. But now, this has to accelerate. This has to be the time you finally do it. Because if not, then you're just wasting these talents at this point.
You really are.
You're just wasting them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're better off alone than they were together. Sure, they had chemistry in the beginning. Very great chemistry. Won the tag team titles for a little bit. But they are so much more greater separately than together. But yeah, no, this has to. Yeah, no, this has to be done, and this has to be over with. And it's time for these stars to rise up on their own.
Mm.
That's all to say.
Yeah, no, it's definitely time. There was some funny things in the match that I did like, where Sheamus was asking to basically for Waller to absolutely just start chopping him, punching him, and Sheamus is just like, just that fighting spirit, like, come on, and he just continued. And then after Theory finished, well, not Theory, Waller finished, he got like the beats for like 15 punches to the chest, and it was brutal. And Theory was looking at that like, thank God that's not me. Because, yeah, I would not want to go in the ring with Sheamus, who hits hard. I wouldn't want to do that. But, yeah, it was a solid match. You know, Waller's always been great in the ring. Sheamus, same thing. They got great chemistry. Nice momentum for Sheamus as we hopefully get, you know, Sheamus a bigger story coming up. Maybe there's just kind of just like a stopgap before we lead into bigger and better things for Mr. Sheamus. But yeah, for Austin Theory and Waller, I'm hoping now that they've been doing like these reactions to each other and managing and everything, that now we start to get to that point where they're gonna finally separate. Because if Theory continues to get Austin Theory chance and we're going into a third year of no development, then like you said, yeah, we're wasting talent over here. Because people want to get behind Theory. I've seen it all online, and I've seen it now with crowd reactions. They want to get behind this dude. They want to like this dude. They want to give him a chance as a babyface. And I'm one of those people. But if you're not going to pull the trigger, then what the hell are we doing here? At this point, maybe the only thing you do to break it up, even though it would be a dumb way to do it, but maybe we could finally get some clearance. Maybe the draft is the way you do it, even though it's a dumb way to do it. Because, again, you don't want to break up tag teams. But in this scenario, maybe that's what you do. Maybe you keep Theory on Raw and move Waller back to SmackDown so he can focus on his own goals. And we have kind of a closure. And Theory could finally go on his own and maybe become a babyface. If that's the stupid way you got to do it, then fine. Go ahead. But if you're not going to even do that, and we go past a draft, and there's still a team going into 2026, at that point, then you wasting time. At that point, bro, what the hell are we doing here? Like, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, at that point, what are we doing? So, I do agree, time is running out. But this is the perfect opportunity, especially if Theory is getting those reactions every week. This is it. This is where you got to pull the trigger. You got to do that epic kind of Chris Jericho, Kevin Owens segment with, like, the Grayson Waller effect. And have the dissension. Have the breakup. That's the only way to do it. That's the only way to do it. You can't do it any other way. There's no shot. There's no shot. There's no shot. Like, you have it now. You now just got to pull it. You've got to pull that trigger. If you don't, you're wasting the opportunity.
If you don't, we're pulling the Glock out.
Yeah! Pulling the Glock out.
We're putting the Glock out on the Gunther situation. We're putting the Glock out on 2K. And we're going to pull the Glock out on whatever the fuck we want.
No, it's more of a thing of, like I said, it's not even a thing that we hate both men. I actually really like both guys separately. We just want better for both.
We love them.
We want better for Waller, because Waller could be an amazing heel. And Theory has potential. I mean, he's getting the reactions. He has a potential to be a really good babyface, especially if we do it right. You got a chance to make something on Austin Theory and prove why we've been, watching the prospect that is Austin Theory. Because, again, I've seen his interviews outside the ring. Brother is one of the coolest dudes on the planet. Dude is down to earth. He's smart, but he's such a cool guy. How can you not get behind him? And that's why the fans are starting to finally see that. Hell, he'll even take pictures with fans. Even as a heel, he was taking pictures with fans. Like, he's a guy people want to get behind. But WWE has to give a reason why we should get behind them. And the breakup is the only way to do it. That's the only way to do it. So I'm hoping going into next year, or hopefully going into this year, the story starts picking up and we finally get that epic breakup. where it's going to be an emotional roller coaster. But in the end, for both men, their futures are bright. Because I think their futures are bright. But it's not together. It's split apart. And then maybe in the future, like later down the line, when we're getting close to the ender of Theory's kind of role, they want to do a small reunion, maybe. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Fine with that. Because I've seen teams do that before, where they go away for a while, and then when they need help with each other, they kind of they reform. They do a nice little tag run, something like that. But till then, yeah, we gotta break them up and start this program. So we'll see what happens. So then after that, like I said before, 10 minutes of goddamn Tyrese Halliburton. Why? Whatever. Then we got into the rundown for the Saturday Night's Main Event card, which we will be doing the predictions after this review. CM Punk, Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker tag match. John Cena versus R-Truth. Steel Cage match. Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest. And Jey Uso versus Logan Paul for the World Heavyweight Championship. So then there was obviously a segment backstage with Gunther, basically interviewing. Then Rollins comes in, so Rollins and Gunther had a little interaction, which was cool. Because they have an interaction in a minute. And basically talking about, Gunther did like the craziest line. Like, I really love this line where it's like, Gunther basically says...
That was great.
He says, Rollins, you are the future around here. But it's not your future. It's my future. And I was like, oh, shit, that hit different. That hit fucking different.
And which just shows that, Gunther's not backing down to anybody, no matter if you're...
Hell fucking no. I might have been critical the way they're booking him now, but that dude don't give a fuck. That dude said, I'm killing everybody. He don't care that Rollins got a dog, a.k.a. Braun Breaker. He don't care if he got Paul Heyman. He don't care about Jay.
And let's be honest, though, they have unfinished business. And the reason why is that they never really had no big match, ever in a while. I thought they were going to book it, but it never happened. It hasn't happened yet.
Absolutely. I 100%
And this is with their true potentials rising up to stardom already, as is. So I'm curious to see if they are going to fight in the future and when that will happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because Gunther's got a little cheers when he did that little promo with Seth.
Oh, yeah, slowly but surely, Seth's not getting as much babyface reactions as he once did. He's starting to get a lot more boos. And definitely more kind of muted reactions. So it shows that this kind of idea of Rollins' future, almost like a tribal chief kind of role.
Yeah.
A lot of people indifferent about it. Again, people love Braun Breaker because Braun Breaker is just fucking cool. He's a badass motherfucker, and they will bark as much as they need to. Despite the fact he called someone in the main event in the crowd something that made me laugh so much. I'll talk about that later. But absolutely, Rollins is starting to get the heel reactions that we would have thought he would get. Like, we thought when he turned with Paul, we thought we were going to get like that heat level. And it took a little bit because people love Rollins and they love his song and the way they just love him. It's hard to not love him. But now after what Paul's been saying and kind of putting his hand in the middle of everything, now Rollins is getting the reactions he should be getting. Just like how Paul did. So, definitely going to be an interesting road where this three duo goes as we go along. And it's going to be fun to see the duo between Rollins and Braun, in their first true tag match at Saturday Night's Main Event. It's going to be a fun duo to see what happens. So, next I'll be taking this one. The women's qualifying match number 2 goes as followed. We have Rhea Ripley, Kairi Sane, and Zoe Stark. So, firstly, very happy to see Kairi Sane is back. I'm super happy that she's back. She looks healthy, and that's all I can ask because I felt really bad for Io because she's lost a lot of her friends. She lost Dakota, still waiting for Asuka, But now she has one of her friends back. She has Kairi back. And it looks like Kairi's going to be going on a bit of her own journey because she was trying to qualify for Money in the Bank. But yeah, really cool to see Kairi back. She looks so healthy. She looked great in the ring.
Great.
She didn't lose a step.
Great for her to be back. Can't wait for Asuka though. Can't wait for her to be back as well.
Absolutely. And I can't wait to see that pop when Asuka gets back because everybody misses Asuka. I'm even one.
Miss the Empress of Tomorrow. It hasn't been the same.
I miss the Empress. I do miss. I miss Kana because that version of Asuka is a whole different version than what we had. I do miss her. I do miss her. And after hearing what's been going on outside the ring, even though it's been crazy, I'm hoping now that she heals up and she gets back in the ring and she can just focus on what she wants to do, and that's basically wrestle. So, but yeah, absolutely, really cool to see Kairi Sane back. That's cool. But I want to give a quick prayer to a talent that, while I don't talk about as much, and it's not her fault, by the way, I generally felt bad when I rewatched this. So, it looked like Kairi Sane and Rhea Ripley were about to get hit with Zoe Stark's amazing dropkick. She's nailed this every time, by the way. She's never gotten hurt when she's done this dropkick. When she does this kind of sniper-style dropkick that she started doing with Baszler, she nails it every time. It's a beautiful dropkick. But unfortunately on this night, it went wrong. She went for the dropkick. She was supposed to dropkick Kairi and Rhea together, and they both split away. That was supposed to be the spot. And they were going to do something else probably after that. Or let Zoe taunt and be like, yeah, I got both of them down. And probably get a commercial right after. But that didn't happen. When she went to go dropkick both Rhea and Kairi, she didn't quite get enough and basically missed. And the way the leg buckled, it was an ugly scene. And you could clearly see the way Rhea reacted. That was not supposed to happen. It was supposed to be Rhea and Kairi getting double drop kicked by a sweet drop kick. Because, again, I will say Zoe Stark's drop kick is super smooth. Love her drop kick. But it went horribly wrong. And the way her leg buckled back, you could basically see her basically scream. And they had to get doctors in the ring. They had to get referees. The match did continue. And kudos to Kairi and Rhea for going on the fly. But basically, Zoe was not supposed to get hurt. And my prayers go out to Zoe Stark, because it's not that, firstly, I don't want anyone ever getting injuries. Injuries in wrestling absolutely sucks. Firstly, I just want to get that out of the way. Anyone that prays for anyone's injuries, you're weird. But anyone that says prayers to the injury, you're doing a nice gesture. And I'm one of those people. Yes, do I agree? Zoe Stark is a bit of a loss after Baszler's release and everything. Yeah, but even for her, I don't want anyone ever getting an injury like that. I saw it happen to Indy Hartwell, and I felt so bad just as much as Zoe. Even though I do agree her booking has been so all over the place, I gotta at least say, that injury sucks. The way she folded, I felt like, damn. All that time and work and effort to keep you, because they didn't release you at all. They kept you. They believe in you. And now months away. It could potentially be years, potentially, depending on how bad the injury is. We don't know how bad the injury is. Still waiting for a doctor's note. But, yeah, when I saw that injury, I was like, oh, my God, that was not supposed to happen. And it looked gnarly. But prayers to Zoe Stark. And she also, by the way, shout out to the WWE Women's Locker Room. She got a lot of support from everybody. Bayley put a tweet up. Lyra put a tweet up. Bliss put a tweet up. A lot of the veterans. I think even Mickey put a tweet up. Trish put a tweet up. Legends put a tweet up. Everybody was tweeting prayers to Zoe Stark. And I do want to say prayers to Zoe Stark. Because an injury like that absolutely sucks. And who knows how long she's going to be out for. Because, like I said, does she need work when it comes to, obviously, mic work and stuff? Absolutely. But ignoring all that, her in-ring work is so good. Her finisher is amazing. Her drop kick is so smooth. And I don't know if she's going to have that same kind of feel in her leg if it's this bad. Again, we'll still have to wait for the doctor's report on what the injury is and how bad it is. But until that point, prayers to Zoe Stark. Even with everything.
And I mean that we don't know if it's gonna be bad or if her wrestling is gonna be the same or because that was a bad injury.
Oh yeah, it was rough.
That could be a career-ending injury.
But it's very hit or miss with knee injuries. I've seen it with all wrestlers. Like Dakota Kai is a great example of this. It wasn't like the talent of Dakota Kai, that ruined her run. A lot of it had to do with injuries because that knee just could not stay healthy. Every time she would come back, something's wrong with the knee. The only time she didn't have like a knee injury was when she had a concussion on a mistake that they had in a match, but that was it. And it finally, again, like I said, it looked like Dakota was finally being healthy, and we're going to get a healthy Dakota. But even then, WWE's still like, we still, even though I still think it's BS, but I kind of agree to a degree on the business side. I kind of understand why, because Dakota's injuries, it's a risk. Now, if it pays off and Dakota comes back into wrestling and her knee stays healthy for the rest of her career, then WWE done fucked up. But if I hear more injuries are happening with her, then I hate to say it, but maybe WWE was not right to release her, but maybe they had the right idea. Like, we don't trust these injuries. We can't risk it.
Yeah.
So, it's a hard pill to swallow, but they might not be wrong in this case. So, but yeah, anyone that gets injured, even if it's a person that has like the weakest booking right now, I still feel for that person. And Zoe is that same situation. Because I bet she's been trying her best, trying to get back on TV. They give her a shot at TV. They break her up with Baszler, because Baszler's now out of WWE. She's doing her own thing now. She now has a chance to shine by herself once again, and then she gets injured. Even if she wasn't going to win, she got hurt. And that sucks. That absolutely sucks. And it derailed probably what was going to be an epic triple threat match to decide who goes to Money in the Bank. But I do also want to give a lot of credit to the two wrestlers that were still alive in Kairi Sane and Rhea for doing a straight-up 1v1 match and having an absolute banger of a 1v1 match to decide who goes to Money in the Bank. But yeah, prayers to Zoe Stark. That injury was very hard to watch. I remember watching it back and I was like, holy good God. Like, goodness me.
Very shocking.
But yes, doctors carry her out. Referees were there very quickly at the scene. Thank God, because WWE's medical is one of the best medicals in the world. They know what they're doing. They got her out immediately. They got her out of the way so we could focus on Rhea and Kairi. But definitely for a second before I was getting back into those two wrestling on 1v1, it took me a moment because I was like, I feel for anyone that has an injury like that. So I hope Zoe's going to be okay. And I hope she gets the medical attention she needs. And Zoe Stark, hopefully, depending on how bad the injury is, comes back better than ever. And Zoe hopefully gets at least somewhat of a reward for her guts for doing something like that. Because, God, that injury was gnarly. It was absolutely crazy. So we'll see how bad it is, but goodness me. Now trying to get back to the match. Really good back and forth. It went for another 9 minutes or so between Rhea and Kairi. It looked like they were going to go longer when Zoe was involved. But again, just the injury, they had to make it up on the fly. And that's the greatness of what Rhea Ripley and Kairi can do. They made it up on the fly, basically.
Yeah.
And had a whole singles match. And it was fluent. Like, there was no botches or anything. It was fluent. It was smooth. And it was really, really, really good stuff. And for a moment there, Kairi had Rhea beat. There were moments where I was like, hey, Kairi might win this. But then, obviously, Mommy's experience comes in, and Mommy qualifies. Hits the Riptide, pins Kairi Sane. So, Mommy is in Money in the Bank. Could we potentially get a Mommy in the Bank? Something I never thought Rhea would ever do? Something to think about. So now the women's Money in the Bank ladder match goes as followed. Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, and Rhea Bloody Ripley. You want to talk about a stacked women's ladder match already, and we're not even done yet? That is a loaded Money in the Bank women's ladder match. Because you have the youth and Roxanne, you have the veteranness and Rhea, and you also have another veteran who's won Money in the Bank before, and Alexa Bliss. Those three alone, this Money in the Bank women's ladder match is going to be absolutely loaded. And whoever wins this, it's going to change their lives forever. That's what Money in the Bank does.
Agreed.
But kudos to Kairi Sane and Rhea for basically going on the fly and coming up with a really good match in the end. Because again, I have a genuine feeling that they were supposed to go way longer with Zoe involved. But again, when Zoe got hurt, you got to make it up on the fly. And kudos to Rhea and Kairi for making it up on the fly. Not very easy to do, but they pulled it off. So yeah, those are the three women. But it's going to be 4 because Julia, Charlotte, and Zelina are going to try to qualify on Friday. The winner of that will make it 4. So the match will either consist of Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, potentially a Julia, potentially a Zelina, and I hate to say it, but she's in this match, a potential Charlotte. I don't want that, but I just at least have to say it because she is involved in this. We'll see what direction they go. We'll just have to wait and see. But yes, we will have a 4th woman in that match by Friday. So we'll see where they go. So then after that, they had a little promo with Rusev accepting the challenge of Tozawa. These Rusev promos are really goddamn good. They're just... They're basically what Rusev should be. Just really, really, really good stuff. Even though Rusev basically said, your arrogance will get you slaughtered, and I was like, yo, what do you mean by that? What? That line just took me for a second. Your arrogance will get you slaughtered. I was, yo, Rusev, you got something on your mind? Because that's a crazy line to say to Tozawa. Like, and even Rusev knows, because Rusev knows basically this is going to be a walk in the park for Rusev. Rusev told Tozawa he'll be forgiven for his stupidity and forget his existence. And I was like, why did you agree to this, Tozawa? Why? Why did you accept? Oh, boy. Those just 2 lines make me terrified what's going to happen next week. I'm scared for Tozawa next week. Oh. Tozawa, it's on you, though. I got nothing more to say. It's on you. You're the one who wanted this. It's your death wish. God.
Yeah, no. It's a death wish, especially with the main event. I think, are we on the main event now?
We got one more second, then we're in the main event.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, Rusev Tozawa next week. And then finally, there was a bit of a New Day segment. You know, it was all solid, whatever. Just trying to get tag teams for them, whatever. But this is the segment that everyone was talking about. The Judgment Day segment. So, Judgment Day, backstage, talking about their victories. Dom having his IC title with Raquel, Carlito, and JD. They're talking about their victories. They're like, yeah, we got the win. Everything's going well. In walks Finn Balor, and they're like, oh, hey, what's good, Finn? Like, we celebrating? Yeah, we celebrating. But Finn bought a guest. Yeah. So Finn Balor walks in with the beautiful Roxanne Perez. And for a second, I was like, whoa. Why is Finn walking in with Roxanne? Now, I will say, I have been noticing in the past maybe 2 weeks that Finn's been talking to Roxanne backstage for a reason. But the reason wasn't known. You could speculate, but we didn't really know at the time. I think I know why now. So Finn walks in with Roxanne Perez. Balor says, guys, Judgment Day needed a little numbers in his words. Here is your numbers. Please welcome Roxanne Perez. And Perez is basically all smiley, even though Raquel is disgusted by this. Dom is confused. Carlito and JD didn't seem like they mind, but a lot of confusion. Yeah. Then, basically, Finn said, hold on, guys, don't get too mean now. She's got gifts. And what does Roxanne give something Dom can never resist? Chicken nuggets. She has a cloth box, hands it to Dom, and there's chicken nuggets in it. Fresh chicken nuggets. Right there for him. And Dom looked down and is like, I can't lie, it's something that I enjoy. Because it's two things that Dom loves. Chicken nuggets and chicken tenders. That's gift number 1. Gift number 2 was for Carlito. Apples. Of course. Carlito loves apples. She gives her an apple. But then, Carlito's somewhat, I guess, GF, slapped the apple away and being like, you made your presence known. Yeah. And then Finn's like, it's fine, Roxanne. Go ahead. You can leave.
But then look at Dom.
But then look at Dom as he looks at Roxanne leaving like, hey, yo, hold on, wait a minute.
With his chicken fingers, bro, I'm done. Nah.
Yo. Before I say what I think Finn's plan is, Dom, you were like the baddest dude on the planet. If you can get Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, and Roxanne Perez all at the same time in a span of maybe 6 months, like, brother,
3 years, 4 years,
you are the Riz Master, my brother. Because if you could bag Rhea, you could bag Liv, and you could bag Roxanne, you the GOAT, bro. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. And you got a wife, a hot wife at home. You win. You win at that point. You already won, but now you win even more.
It's not just win. He's winning with an
He's winning there, exactly. Oh, and I can't forget, you are in the run of the greatest intercontinental champion of all time. So there's that as well. You're the IC champ as well. Yep. You winning, broski. You winning, broski. But yeah, the way he looked at Roxanne while she was leaving, I mean, I don't blame Dom, because I probably would have folded too. But, Liv's not going to be happy about this. And actually, funny enough, Liv did respond, because Raquel also said in the promo, Liv will hear about this. And oh boy, did Liv find out very quickly. And this was kind of her response, so I'm going to look it up real quick, because her story went away. But on her story, Liv Morgan did respond about the Roxanne Perez...
shit.
the Roxanne Perez thing that happened.
Yeah, oh god.
So, let's see. Let me see. So firstly, Roxanne Perez, after getting disrespected by Raquel, Roxanne Perez, Raquel's response to Roxanne was absolutely hilarious. This is Raquel, and she quotes, "Cheap ass nugs from a cheap ass hoe."
Oh, that's crazy.
Yo, Raquel, you need to chill. But then, in Spanish, she responds, "Pincha amagata, hating ass." That's what Roxanne said. So that's crazy in itself. So then,
oh boy,
from there, we need to get Liv's response. Because while Liv is set, by the way, to come back basically in the next week or two. She had a response before she returns. So Dom also posted a picture of him basically with the Nuggets while looking at Roxanne, while Roxanne looking all cute and everything, because that's what Roxanne basically said.
I just want to know what her boyfriend thinks about this too.
Absolutely agree.
Roxanne's boyfriend.
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy scene. So let's see here. Let me see if I can find it here. Hold on. I'm trying to see because she put her post up, but like I couldn't get a screenshot. All right, I know how to find it. I'll go through Twitter because usually Twitter posted. Hold on, that'll be easier. But yeah, when I saw Liv's response, I was absolutely dying laughing. I was speechless when I saw this response on Instagram. I was like, that's hilarious. So let's see. Let's see if I can find it here. Let me see. Let's see the response. Damn, Liv, why are you making it so hard to find your response? She generally posts on freaking Instagram, but like, no one got a photo of her?
I guess it was probably a quick delete, maybe.
I mean, maybe. What? Let me see. Okay, well, I can't find the actual response, but this is kind of
It'll probably come up again.
Yeah, it'll probably come up again and I'll find it, but this is kind of the gist of it. She basically reacted to Roxanne giving nugs and basically saying, in her words, wow, I've never seen a woman, in her words, give a man chicken nuggets in a cloth box. Cheap as hell. That's literally her response. Just being like, you're cheap as hell for that.
Yeah, you know that's why I'm wondering. You know, what is she gonna respond to Dom next week after she probably she caught him looking at her.
If Dom, like I said, Dom had the same problem with Liv in the beginning, but the difference was he finally felt feelings for Liv. But but I swear to God,
if they actually pull this off,
if they actually do this,
Dominic's the GOAT. I'm calling
Dominic's
right now.
the absolute fucking legend. And oh, by the way, I probably should have said this because again, technically Roxanne Perez is not part of Judgment Day yet, but it seems like she could be a candidate to join them at some point.
Yeah, but here's the interesting about that though. Will this mean that she'll be a part of Finn Balor's Judgment Day or Bullet Club or whatever if he is? Because what if he's trying to put allies up? What if he's trying to kick Dominic, Liv, and maybe Rhea
out? That's what I was gonna get to. I feel, looking at what I see, Finn is trying to not only ruffle feathers with Dom, but he's doing it behind the person that holds everything together other than himself and Dom, Liv Morgan. Because Liv Morgan in the group holds everything together. Even if there's a bad situation when they're kind of sarcastically making fun of each other.
She became the new mommy of the group, in my opinion. She became the new Rhea Ripley.
She's the one that holds the group together and does not all the decisions, but she makes some of the calls. She makes some of the calls.
That divided the Judgment Day in the beginning, but made this new Judgment Day into what it is.
That's why, if we see closer and closer, when Roxanne and Dom are on screen and they're getting a little too close, when Liv gets back, it is going to be a Rhea Ripley situation where it is is pandemonium, where Liv is basically gonna be like, Dom, you had one job. Stay loyal. What are you doing? And it's gonna be something else. Like, it is... Oh my god, it is gonna be unbelievable when we see what happens next. And then from there, even interestingly, which we'll see if she gets involved in this, Miss Rhea Ripley liked the Dom post. So, I don't know what that means.
Oh, God.
But, something to keep in mind. Let's put it that way.
Just imagine one day, all three, two of them in the same room with Dom.
Liv's gonna probably have to straighten out Roxy first. But I mean, if Dom acts advice, it'd be crazy if Dom has a segment that acts advice to Rhea. Like, Rhea's gonna look and be like, "Bruh, you are funny if you think you're gonna ask advice for me." We'll see. Yeah. But it is gonna be really funny to see what happens, because like you're telling me that Dom is gonna have Roxy, Liv, and Rhea in a span of basically a year? That's kind of wild. So it's gonna be interesting to see what role Roxy plays in this, because if she's just there to disrupt and work with Finn and give kind of Dom a new lover while Miss Liv is gone, which will also be interesting to see if Raquel's gonna potentially stop all this, because again, Raquel is so close with Liv, bro. Raquel could just straight up just call Liv and be like, kind of like what happened when Damien called Mommy.
Yeah.
What happened? She came in like a house of fire and just made Dom's life a living nightmare. It could be the same thing with Liv.
No.
And Liv is worse when it comes to crash out. She will crash out bad. So she sees Roxanne either potentially kissing Liv or kissing Dom, or potentially just getting flirtatious. Oh, Liv is gonna absolutely flip her gasket and go right after Roxanne Perez, and then probably go after Dom and be like, "We need to talk." And I mean, talk. Like, it's gonna be such a awkward thing, but such an epic thing for TV. Like how they did the whole mommy thing. Like it's happening again. We're getting another crazy love plot in all of this. Oh my god. But yeah, we're gonna see what happens with that. Something to keep in mind though, Roxanne Perez, again, not in the Judgment Day, but is potentially a candidate to potentially join the Judgment Day. And we'll see where that leads. And now we're on to the main event. Sure. Jey Uso, Braun Breaker. The rematch. Non-title, by the way. Gotta say that.
Yeah. Great match. An all-out, great match. Braun Breaker shows that each and every time that he belongs into the world title scene and in the main event. Spotlight in general. Pretty great match once again. And of course, I don't think it's going to be over. I do think that these guys will fight eventually one day for the world title. I won't be surprised if that happens. Or some other title or whatever, or opportunities, who knows. But, it was pretty great. Again, going into the end, then Rollins attacked, Jey Uso, and just stomped him away. Jey was about to fight Paul Heyman, because Paul Heyman, I think, interfered in some way, and he threw the jacket down and was ready to scrap.
And he was putting up the fisticuffs, like how he did when he did in that one video I saw with Roman. He was like, come on, bring it.
Yeah, he put the dukes up. Bro was about to do a Roman, I'll whoop your ass.
He was like, yo, get your ass up. I'm about to kick you out. Yo, get your ass up.
And then Rollins just interrupts it. That was funny, though.
And it says, you're not doing that.
Yeah, no. But I think Sami Zayn interfered, and I think CM Punk eventually came back, and then the brawl was on as they prepared going into Saturday night main event. to face each other, which I'm starting to, I really don't like these conspiracy theories with Sami Zayn might be going over there. But I have to, you know, put my other side at the same time. Says there still could be a chance.
We gotta hold judgment.
Yeah.
We gotta hold judgment. You know, this is still developing. They're brand new. They just debuted right after Mania. Like it's still so early. There's not a lot to say when it comes to adding the member thing yet.
Yeah.
I still got no clue. But I will say this quick thing about, like I said, match, like I said, great chemistry, Jey Uso, Braun Breaker. I'm okay with the ending in DQ because I do think these two can run it back in the future, basically whenever. And I think Braun Breaker is a contender, other than maybe Rollins, to take that title off him.
Sure. Yeah, no, that's another person we could have added to the world title contention. Him and Rollins. I still feel like Braun Breaker had an incredible Intercontinental Championship run for the second time. Better than his first one, obviously. But for the second time, he delivered. And I think now it's time for him to be in that world title seat. And now I think he is with Seth Rollins as well.
And that's why the Paul Heyman acquisition to guide him is huge.
It's gonna be,
it's humongous because Paul Heyman is gonna be the light that guides Breaker to title greatness. Like he's gonna be the one to do it, because if there's one man that loves working with like young like rookies that have so much potential, guys like Brock Lesnar, and then obviously took even though Roman wasn't like young at that time, he was still learning to be the tribal chief. Look who took him under the wing, Paul Heyman.
Yes.
And that elevated him to soaring success. I see the same for Braun Breaker. Adding Heyman is just a plus. Because Heyman, like I said, Heyman sees how we all see it. Braun Breaker, explosive, 6-foot monster, strong as hell, explosive, fast, athletically gifted, technically sound. We see all that. But now with Heyman approving that, and finding kind of that inner demon in Braun, because Braun has shown it. But now with a guy like Heyman who loves scheming and everything, and you know guiding Braun, like when they do the backstage segment, you see him, he's like kind of pointing. I was like, you see how that works, and you understand it. And Braun's like, okay, yeah, I understand it. So like, it just fits. It just fits so well. So that's why, if they ever do the rematch for the world title, and the title's on the line. Absolutely, yeah. Like that is something I wouldn't mind Breaker taking. Like Breaker World Champion is something that I really want. So definitely something I would want for sure. But one other thing I want to note, kudos to the crowd and that pop for Punk. When Punk got out there, they sang his song for a good 2 extra minutes as he is ready to throw hands. That is how you know Punk is still over to this day. He is not cooled off whatsoever. You can say what you want about him. You can say what you want. But one thing you can say, that man is over as hell, and his talent is still on another level. It's just a fact.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited to see what they're going to do on Saturday night. But that was basically it. That was Raw. That brawl in the end leads to now what we are going to talk about, Saturday night's main event. But before we do that, quick little recap where I'm at with this rating. Again, another really strong Raw. I don't know if it was like 9 territory. I don't think so.
No, I think I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
Like an 8. I'd say 8. Strong 8.
Like an 8.
Strong
8.5.
Yeah, like an 8. Like an 8 for me. Because it was a very good Raw. Definitely not a weak Raw or anything. A very strong Raw. Going into Money in the Bank, going into Saturday night. I thought they did a great job building Jay and Logan. I think they did an awesome job building the tag match. Great stuff. And also, all the qualifiers were also good. And everything was going really well. But I do agree, not as strong as previous weeks. But that's not to say it was a bad Raw, because it was not a bad Raw.
But I gotta admit though, you know, I can't lie. I feel like the SmackDown has gotten better over the last few weeks as well.
SmackDown has been surprising a lot of people. especially after WrestleMania. Even with their 3 hour, they're starting to slowly figure it out.
Yes.
They make an entertaining 3 hours when it's right.
Yes.
And goddamn, they on Friday they have. Like I said, my only critique is obviously whatever the hell is happening with Charlotte, but that's just because I just don't enjoy Charlotte. But really, other than that, I haven't found enjoyment in every other story. Hell, even the little stories that barely get any TV time, I'm interested. Like the Legato stuff, not the biggest story in the world, but I'm excited to see what Berto's gonna say to Santos Escobar, because they're gonna do, I think, like a meeting or a dinner this Friday, and we're gonna find out what Berto thinks, because Berto hasn't talked to Angel, Berto hasn't talked to Santos. I'm excited to see where this Andrade stuff goes. I'm intrigued, and then obviously the women's stuff. I'm excited to see who's Tiffy's going to defend against now, which that Nia Jax match was super competitive. I do not expect to be that competitive. And the fact that Nia kicked out of the Pretty's moonsault surprised the fuck out of me. I was like, no. But, yeah, no, she kicked out. The first person to kick out of the Pretty's moonsault in WWE. Kind of crazy. But, yeah, and then I love how Tiffy retained. They had the wildness with Naomi because they're building that story. Because I know her and Jade are not done, which I'm happy with that. And then, yeah, the beginning segment of, like, Solo trying to be, like, the funny guy, but not to Jacob. And then, obviously, JC Mateo, a.k.a. Jeff Cobb, made his debut against LA Knight and looked very good. So, in general, SmackDown had a really good show. Oh, and I also can't forget that absolute match of the year quality banger between Fraxium and fucking, DIY. That was the match. DIY. And now it looks like it could be potentially leading to Motor City Machine Guns versus Fraxium. And now Fraxium is getting a tag title match this week. Like, now. Like, they're going to face the top team in the division, the Street Profits. And I'm so ready for that. Like, I'm geeking over that match before Saturday. We get that match, and then we get banger matches on Saturday. Bro, wrestling this weekend is about to hit different this weekend. Like, bro, Friday and Saturday alone. Oh, I can't even forget Sunday, because Sunday's Battleground. That whole weekend is going to be ridiculously good. God.
It's stacked.
Stacked weekend coming up. I'm going to be dead by Monday, but I'm so fucking hyped for it. But generally, you're right. SmackDown has been on kind of the upward trajectory, which is quite surprising. But I'm also kind of happy for it because that tag division is so stacked, and it deserves the attention it deserves. Like, needs all the attention in the world, and it seems like WWE is giving them that attention because now Fraction is going to take on Street Profits in an absolute rematch banger, but for the tag title. Like, tag title is going to be on the line, so I can't fucking wait for that match on Friday. So in general, I also can't forget about Aleister Black and Mello. I'm excited to see where that rematch goes because Aleister Black's got a Money in the Bank qualifying match Friday. And it's against Shinsuke. And a third person that's just as good. Like, crazy. So in general, SmackDown, not only on paper this week, but last week.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Kudos to SmackDown. Generally, kudos to SmackDown. I had no expectations after WrestleMania, but they're low-key getting me back on the side of, like, SmackDown is starting to finally show that when the shows are done right and they got the roster around them, the shows could be equal to Raw, or at least in the conversation. They got to keep it up, though. They got to keep it up, especially if they're moving to 2 hours. They got to keep it up. They got to keep that same pace, because man, it's been some good 3 hour SmackDowns. I can't even lie.
No, I agree. I 100% agree.
There's some good ones. So kudos to SmackDown. But yeah, for Raw, another really good solid week on NXT on Netflix once again. Definitely a solid week. Definitely not as strong as most weeks, but definitely not like a bad show or anything. Like a good show. Definitely a good show. And it's building towards Saturday night's main event and building towards Money in the Bank because they're doing two things at the same time. So now that we got that out the way, now we're going to do a quick prediction on Saturday night's main event's card. Because, my God, this one in Tampa looks kind of low-key loaded. There's some really good matches coming. So it's going to be fun. So here's what we got for Saturday night's main event. Starting off, we have the potential final match in this epic rivalry between El Campeon, former El Campeon, Damian Priest, versus Drew McIntyre, the Scottish Warrior. And their final match is going to be in something that I'm kind of glad they're doing. Steel cage. We are getting a steel cage between the two dudes that don't like each other. This has been going on since Priest has gotten to SmackDown. When Priest and Drew went to SmackDown together, there was still beef there because of what happened at WrestleMania in Philadelphia. What happened in Philadelphia was Damian Priest cashed in on Drew McIntyre after Drew got a little overzealous and CM Punk screwed him out of the title. But again, Damian was just doing his job because he had the senior Money in the Bank. A cash-in is a cash-in. So at that point, a couple months go by. They obviously have their rematches for the world titles and stuff. But then they go away for a while. Then they announce they're going to go on the same brand. And from there, they just started feuding in one of the more underrated feuds on SmackDown. Because I had no expectations for this singles feud going into Mania. But that Sin City Street fight was brutal and a lot of fun. But I'm like, okay, well, what else are they going to do? Then they said their feud is not done because they attacked each other on the SmackDown after WrestleMania and said this feud is not done by any means. But it led to an epic battle at Backlash in the Fatal 4-Way, where it was Jacob Fatu defending against Damian Priest, LA Knight, and Drew McIntyre. Priest and Drew were basically done in that match because it looked like Drew had the title won, and then Priest pulled the ref. Then after that, a brawl ensues. They brawl out of the arena, they brawl towards the staging area, and basically Priest hit a nasty-looking South to Heaven chokeslam through the tables, and both men were out. Obviously, who retained? Obviously, Jacob Fatu retained because of the debut of Jeff Cobb. We already know this story. That happens. So then Priest is like, you know what? I'm tired of Drew's bullshit. You know what? I know how we're going to settle it. Steel cage. I want to bash your head into steel. And I'm like, yes, sign me up. Sign me up. And they basically announced a Saturday night's main event. Something that Saturday night main events have done in many years. They've done steel cage matches before. For this time, they're bringing it back. So Priest and Drew, even I believe also Damian Priest is banged up as well. And he's gotten a lot of praise for it. They're going to go to war in a steel cage match. I can't believe I just uttered those words. But, yeah, this basically looks like this is the final reckoning. This is the last. This is it. This is the final battle between two warriors. And someone is walking out victorious. We'll see who it is. For my prediction, who wins this steel cage match? Man, it's kind of a toss-up because both guys absolutely deserve this victory. In a way to put them in a spot, probably going after Jacob Fatu in the U.S. title, because especially the way they teased Drew going into that division a lot more. I could see that match happening. And for Priest, it could lead to something more for Priest, especially since Priest has been so durable and underrated. There could be a lot to do for Damian Priest after this. But who wins it? Who wins the feud? I think who I'm going to give it to, even though I wouldn't mind either one winning, I'm going to give it to Drew. I think Drew wins this feud. Drew beats Priest in the steel cage match in probably the most brutal way possible. And Drew McIntyre goes back after Jacob Fatu because he never really got pinned in the loss for the 4-Way. And he's probably going to want some redemption on Drew McIntyre. And I kind of want that match. Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre for the U.S. title. I kind of want that. So for me, I think Drew McIntyre wins the feud, wins the steel cage match, and moves on to Jacob Fatu. That's my prediction. What is yours, Mr. Manny?
Man, just you were saying that about the feud. I mean, this feud has been going on for the last 2 years
Yes.
since Damian Priest cashed in his Money in the Bank contract at WrestleMania 40.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, it has been on each other. They have both been on each other's backs ever since. Back and forth, attack. But in title match, after title match, Drew McIntyre always got screwed. But at WrestleMania 41, that ended when I thought that ended when Drew McIntyre Claymored Damian Priest for the 1, 2, and 3, and I thought that was it. But no, it continues until Backlash. Once again, getting in each other's way in title matches, with the U.S. title being in Jacob Fatu and LA Knight, with both of them included in there. But once again, it ends as Damian Priest almost injures Drew McIntyre. Luckily, doesn't seem that it was too bad, but he was still injured. That something was wrong with Drew McIntyre. But no, it seems like he's clear enough to compete now, so they're going to settle it, and I hope this will be it. Settle it for the last and final time in a steel cage match. And I remember that they did do steel cage matches in the old days. Definitely.
Absolutely.
I remember that, too.
They didn't use the steel ones. They used those, really old blue ones. Or, the dark black ones.
Yeah, the old blue ones.
The old blue ones.
The old steel. The
old steel. Like, the one that was, probably unsafe as hell.
They actually brought that back. It would be
that
so
would
cool
be cool, yeah. I'd be
back.
interested to see if they would at least recolor the cage and go blue.
Yeah.
I'd be intrigued.
Recolor the cage or bring the old cage back. It would be really interesting.
Yeah.
But, the point is that this is ending.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I think I'm going to give it to Damian Priest.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to give it to Damian. The reason why I gave it to Damian is because Drew McIntyre already had the biggest win at WrestleMania. And to give Damian Priest just a little bit of win and momentum going into whether the U.S. or world title scene, it will make more sense for him to win this one.
Mm-hmm. I respect that.
So for the first time, even though I love my GOAT, Drew McIntyre, he is my GOAT in my opinion.
And you wouldn't mind if he wins this, right? Like, you wouldn't mind.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
There is no question or doubt that I don't mind him winning this. But I feel that Damian just needs that little nudge to say that this is even. We're even for now.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, think about it now. That's why I wouldn't. Yeah, that's why, honestly, both choices are the right choices. It's not even a thing where if Drew loses, it doesn't truly hurt him at all, because he already proved himself, not only beating Priest once, but he also proved himself in the U.S. title scene, and it looks like that's the title he's eyeing.
And he could still go after Jacob Fatu either way.
Yeah, no.
If he wins or loses.
100%. Yeah, no. There could be a number one contendership, like little number one contendership, like singles match or something, and Drew gets involved. Totally see him win that and go after Jacob Fatu, and we get that epic dream match of Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu. That match would go crazy.
Yeah.
I 100% agree.
I mean, we could get more challenges from Money in the Bank, so who knows regarding that?
Oh yeah, there are still qualifiers going on. Maybe if Drew falls short, maybe he tries to go for that again, because he did win it once.
Yes.
Not a bad strategy. Not at all.
Or Damian, who knows?
Or Damian, yeah. Even if Damian loses, he has one Money in the Bank, and SmackDown are still doing qualifiers. There's still a few weeks that we gotta get 6 spots filled. There's gonna be some spots open, so fair enough.
You know what makes me curious is that I hope that one day that they actually what was I gonna say? That they actually do something that hasn't been done in a while. I believe it's time to make history by someone becoming the second 2-time Money in the Bank holder in many years. Because the only person that has done it twice has been CM Punk. It will not surprise me, and I hope that they do this either now or in the future, that they actually do a 2-year or at least a 2 separate win with the Money in the Bank contract. I believe it's time to do that again.
Okay.
It's time to make some history, either by this year, next year, or in the future. I just want to see that happen again because it hasn't happened in many years since Punk won.
It is not, no. That
It
would
has
be
not.
pretty cool history to have a back-to-back winner because we haven't had one in the
Or
modern
break the
era.
record. Three Money in the Bank
Or
briefcase
three.
wins.
Yeah, that'd be insane. That's a possible record, but almost an impossible record because having
Yes.
someone win Money in the Bank 3 times in a row,
It's
that's
hard.
not easy to do.
Of course.
That's a bit of a choosy
Yeah.
choice. But I mean, at least tying
Yeah.
Punk's record of back-to-back.
Yeah.
I
And
can
not
see that.
only that, though, and I think, it's going to build up. And now that I think about it more, I don't think that they're going to set it up for Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa to betray each other at Money in the Bank. Now that I think about it more, it's probably still too early.
No,
it
is way too early.
It's too early.
When you said Money in the Bank, I was like, whoa, that is.
Yeah. Still too early.
We got to recalculate a little bit. It's probably later on. It has to be later on. But now that
I think about it more, I would say do it by SummerSlam.
If you want to go that route, yeah, I'm fine with that. For sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. Probably by the end of summer, going into the fall, that's when you do it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. That's fair enough.
Because now that I think about it, like Money in the Bank wise, and I'm like, it's in June. It's early in June, so we're pretty much almost done with May. And now that I think about it, no, it doesn't make sense for them to do it just yet.
No.
I think about it more.
Especially if they want to build that relationship with, obviously, Solo's new Hemi, Jeff Cobb, JC Mateo.
His new enforcer.
The new enforcer. His big like bodyguard. We got to build that kind of, like, trying to get Jacob to trust each other.
Yes.
And then maybe it doesn't work out, but Solo's like, I want to make it work, but Jacob's like, I ain't with all that. Like, you got to build to that. And then once you do that moment, then you snap. Then you snap and you let Jacob loose. You let him loose and go on a tear. Just destroy everybody. That's what you do. So until then, I would agree. Just continue with obviously the Solo Jacob US thing. And then, for Priest and Drew, would love for them to go after Jacob because Jacob would be cool challengers. But also, again, Money in the Bank is around the corner. Would not surprise me if one of them qualify. Definitely not surprised. It would be a nice see them back in Money in the Bank. They're experienced. They know how to win the ladder match. They've been through pain in the ladder match. It just makes sense. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with those two next. Yeah. Okay. So
do you mind if I pick one?
Well, go ahead.
Well, let's start with the world title match between Jey Uso and Logan
I had a feeling you were gonna go here. It was either this or the other match. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
So as we all seen for the last few weeks going into month after WrestleMania, Logan Paul has recently challenged Jey Uso to a match for his world title. Now, as much as I don't think he deserves the opportunity, I do think that he's still a big heel to go after a title, at least, as much as he hasn't deserved it. However, it's going to be a great match, I think. It's going to deliver. But but at the same time, the main concern isn't this match. The main concern is after. If they play their cards right.
Yeah.
So, again, I like Logan Paul. He's a great heel, and I hope that one day he does win the world title. But again,
that would be a crazy run.
I still don't think it's right now.
That would be a crazy run. No.
Which is why I still believe it's still the Yeet year, era.
Yeah, I would 100% agree. Yeah, basically
I'm
everything.
gonna say this.
But
I'm gonna say this. No, I was gonna say that. I'm gonna say this though. He should be winning a world title by next year.
Oh, that's big expectations. Okay.
It probably is, but now that I think about it more, let's just briefly think about this for a second though. Every time he has gone for the world title, he has lost. He's had at least, I believe, 4 or maybe 5 world title matches since coming in WWE. He's lost every one of them. 5 times he has lost these world title matches. When is he gonna get his moment? Is he gonna stay as a mid-carder, or is he gonna rise to the occasion and finally get his world title moment or his big moment? Because I feel that if he doesn't get a world title by next year, what was the whole point of bringing him on?
Mm-hmm.
What was the whole point of him being groomed to be the next big star in WWE? And Kenny Omega is like, he was criticizing this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's a fan of Logan Paul, because he says that in the next 5 or maybe 10 years we're gonna get Logan Paul versus Mr. Beast for the world title, which was funny. But it's like at the same time, Kenny Omega does not believe in the hype that is Logan Paul.
Mm.
And it's like, I get it, but at the same time, Kenny, I feel like you're wrong with this.
Mm.
I feel that Logan Paul has so much potential to be a world champion. But at the same time, he's lost it 5 times already. When is he going to finally win it? Because if he doesn't win it by, I believe, next year, then at this point he should leave WWE.
Whoa, wait, what?
Or maybe go to the Intercontinental title scene.
That's a better answer. That's a way better answer. Leaving WWE because you can't win the world title, that's kind of crazy.
I mean, there's been others that have done that.
I mean, yeah, but some situations it's hard to grasp that, and sometimes just timing's not right.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I do believe that there were some times where, okay, it's not right, but then there were times where I thought, okay, it should have been right.
Yeah, basically. So I see it as this.
Yeah.
For Logan, for the world title thing, I'm actually going to give him an extra 2 years. Because I think there's a lot you could do with him still. There's a lot of singles matches you could do with him. There's many world title talents that he has not fought yet that he can add to his resume.
Or, you know what I think will boost him? My fault for interrupting. But you know what I think will boost him? Have him win Money in the Bank.
See, now you're thinking. Him with Money in the Bank would be absolutely hilarious because he can make that thing a prime briefcase and cash in whenever the hell he wants. And Logan is, again, one thing Logan has proven in this feud, as we've talked about it, timing. Every time Jay got caught lacking, one lucky punch. It's just timing. It's just timing at that point.
Actually, both of them. Every time Jay was able to get one, at the end, Logan was able to get one.
Logan was able to get he got his get back. So, if that's the timing, bro, he'll be a perfect timing for Money in the Bank. Like, that dude, timing's
either Money in the Bank or Royal Rumble winner. I could see it too one day.
Oh, Royal Rumble could be crazy. I would love to see Logan win a Royal Rumble. That could be great, 100%. So I said, my take, 2 years in the world title stuff, because I think there's still time with him. He's still so young. I think he's just about to hit 30. He's got a lot of time left.
Yes.
But if that's not either his goal or WWE's plan, which I respect if that's not their plan, maybe the IC title scene, something he's never won before, it's probably the right call. Unless out of nowhere he just finds a great friendship and goes tag, because he's never won tag gold before.
That would be interesting. But
that'd be interesting to see who he would team up with.
Because they did it with The Miz. Didn't work.
Did not win tag gold, and they broke up immediately.
No, it didn't work. But it was a one-time thing. Sorry, it was a one-time thing.
Yeah, no, like, they did the story for the Ray match, but after that, they feuded with each other. They never teamed up again.
Yeah, it was a one-time thing.
It was just a one-time thing. So for Logan, the potential chance of finding a partner that really likes him, because there's a few people backstage that really like Logan, something to keep in mind. So yeah, I will give him 2 more years in the world title thing. If he doesn't win it then I'm sorry to say, the world title dream, I wouldn't say it's dead, but it's definitely, it's a closer. It's a closer.
It's gonna be close.
It's a closer.
I shouldn't say he will leave. I should say that it will be closed.
It will be a close. I wouldn't say close book, because again, there's always that lucky chance that Logan can get back in the world title scene and just go on a hot streak. I mean, we've seen people that say, "Oh, the world title run is done," but then they go on a hot streak and they win the world title. It's happened before, and it could happen to Logan. It wouldn't surprise me if it doesn't. But I will say, in the next 2 years, if Logan is either still in that division and can't win the big one, then I agree. For now, that book is closed. And he should consider going back to the mid-card or doing something different, maybe doing just some dream matches with some people that he's never fought before, and then maybe lead up to IC or something like that. Because while I do think Logan winning the world title would be the most interesting thing to ever happen in WWE, having a celebrity win a world title, former celebrity, now true superstar, holding that belt around, at least for like a couple months, would be kind of wild. But again, I've seen WWE done crazier. So it's not out of the possibility. But again, I do think his time in that case for now is running out. But that doesn't mean he can still be successful in WWE, because he can. The IC title is a great title to go for, or potentially a tag team title as well. So there's still options. Even if the world title thing closes, there's still options. It's not a thing that's doom or gloom for
Logan.
There's
always options, and there's always a chance.
Options. Yeah,
there's always options and a chance.
And there's even a potential chance, maybe in the future, if he ever gets back into the U.S. title scene, if let's say he moves a brand, he can get that redemption and maybe have a true U.S. title. Because when he won the U.S. title, he was kind of doing part-time. He was not full-time at that time. At that time, he was like in and out. Yeah. Because he was he was trying to figure out if he really wanted to commit to being
to continue
WWE. To continue. And then he signed that 2-year extension, and at that point we were like, okay, no, he's gonna commit. He's committing.
And I was gonna say, Triple H is saying that, Logan Paul is committing, and he's
committing full time. So maybe another crack at the U.S. title run, but a full-time run where he's there a little more often might give him some love. Because I think he looked really good with the U.S. title when you see him hold the belt. When you see him hold the belt, man, looks great with a title. But it's just at that time, I guess WWE to understand Logan's schedule. Like, it was a hard schedule. And that's why I don't blame Logan's run for being that rough. I think it's not even his fault, really. It's just kind of his scheduling was not, like, it was all over the place.
Yeah.
So it was hard to book him in pay-per-view matches and on matches on TV to defend the U.S. title, because you got to make sure your schedule is cleared. Yeah. But now these days, his schedule's a little more clear. He's there every 2 weeks or so, and he's being more consistent. So maybe another crack at the U.S. title with that kind of schedule might be a little better. Because I think he can be a great champion as long as his schedule is finally clear, which it seems like it's finally clear. You obviously do Impulsive, you do media, but then you finally show up to Raw or SmackDown, wherever they put you, you show up. So that's the thing that I wanted for Logan. And WWE seems like they finally figured out like the perfect schedule for Logan, where he'll show up instead of showing up every month or so, he shows up every 2-3 weeks. He'll show up, which is better than waiting a month for him to show up and finally pop up. Oh, Logan Paul's popped up. Now he's on an actual roster and got drafted. He finally feels like, hey, I'm going like full time, where I'm like more around, more often.
Yeah.
Which is what you want. So, while I do agree, he got like 2 years left before the whole world thing closes. We ain't gonna worry about that right now, because he still has so much time. For right now, we're gonna focus on the now. And is now the right time? Unfortunately, no, not right now. It is the Jey Uso era. It is the Yi era. Jey is not losing that title for a hot minute. Easy choice here. Going Jey Uso. Yeet. But the match, I will say, I am very excited to see what this chemistry is like.
Yes.
Because Jey has fought many opponents, and Logan has fought many veterans, many opponents. I'm generally intrigued how him and Jay's chemistry is going to go. Because on paper, that sounds like an absolute banger match. And Jey has proven, even with his very limited moveset, he knows how to adapt. And it's literally this simple story.
Yeah.
Can Jey hit a mean super kick, Uso splash or a spear for the win? Or will Logan get the one thing he always says? That one lucky punch. That's the key. Jay's key, stay away from the right hand. You know what it can do to you.
Yeah, block it.
Block it at all costs. Or at least avoid it. Stay away.
Avoid it.
While Logan's case, honestly, don't get kicked in the face. I'm gonna be honest with you. You've been knocked out with those super kicks. Don't get kicked in the face. Don't get kicked in the face and don't get speared. That's like my best advice to give you. But no, Saturday night with those two. I don't know when. Again, we don't know the match order yet or anything. It wouldn't surprise me if like this starts the night, maybe.
I would say that, or maybe the Damien.
Or maybe Damien Drew. One of those two, because the match we're gonna talk about in a second, and then the tag match, those you can interchange. I'll explain. Which brings me to my next match. The non-title singles match between the last real champion, John Cena, versus his childhood hero and trying to snap back reality, in the words of Eminem, R-Truth. Yes, you heard me right. R-Truth. Now, where does the story begin? Well, it actually doesn't even start in this era. It starts all the way back. Way back in the day. Capital Punishment. R-Truth and Cena were in a feud. Well, specifically, I think he had Miz at that point. He did have Miz. It was Miz and R-Truth versus Cena. That was kind of the feud going on. And Truth earned the world title match. He got in a match. No one expected it. Everyone's like, yo, heel R-Truth, world title match? This is quite shocking. And it was a quite surprising show because having a show based around like the presidential is a bit strange, but again, I've seen crazier. You know, Great American Bash is a great example of that. So I've seen crazier. And the show itself was actually not bad. There was actually some good matches on there. I think Randy and Christian were still feuding at that time too, so that was a fun match. But the main focus was R-Truth first world title match against John Cena. And John Cena at this point, I think it was very in between. Like, he was getting not crazy booed, but he's still getting loved. Like, he didn't quite get to that point where it was like bad. He was still like decently loved. And Truth was the big heel going in. It's like he was shit on the fans. He even got caught for smoking on TV. Like, dude, heel Truth was a different breed. It's crazy how different heel Truth was. So different. It was crazy.
Different man.
But then they had their match, and it was like, you know, it went like 15 minutes long, and it was really good. Like, it was good. It was really good. And Truth proved himself that if you give him a big saw instead of being the comedy guy, he can take you to the limit. So now, where does this lead now? Well, let me take you back to Backlash. Backlash, John Cena, Randy Orton, last time ever these two are ever gonna face. 25 years in the making. The final rematch. And those boys they got so much chemistry left. It was a wild, overbooked, chaos, fun match. It was all over the place, but it was mad fun. And those two proved. But what was the wild card in all of this? The person who interrupted Randy before the punt kick. It was R-Truth. Cena's childhood hero. Which before that, Truth was basically talking to Jim Uso. No yeet. Basically saying, he's my childhood hero, he can't do no wrong, and like, you know, basically the last real champion. And Jimmy's like, nah, bro, you just confused. That's not your childhood hero anymore. No yeet. But Truth didn't want to believe it. Truth's like, nah, that's my hero, bro. Like, I can't, I know John. That's my hero. So, that's where that all happened. Then after he finishes up with the whole Jimmy thing, which he basically presses Randy Orton, which that was almost a dumb move. He would have got dropped. Didn't, though, because Jimmy was there. After all that happened, at the Backlash, this is where the match comes from. At the Backlash post-show, the Backlash press conference, Cena was answering questions. He was basically being like, give me some real questions. You're wasting my time. And then R-Truth walks in and says like, hey man, great defense, da-da-da, this and that, even though, you know, you had to low blow and hit someone with the belt. And that's where Cena, you could see Cena's face change. He's about to kill this man. Cena rises up and says, Ron? And he didn't even call him by Truth. He said, Ron, that was way too far. And Truth was like, but it's true. And then all Cena says in like a Bray Wyatt style just says, run. And Truth's like, what? And then he just drops him with an AA through the table, just disrespectfully just says, screw you. I'm done with this. And then he just walked off. He walked off right after. After that AA, walked off. And I was like, bro, Truth catching strays. This is crazy. But shit gets even crazier. Because on the week after that show, I watched this live, Wade Barrett had an exclusive interview with Truth about everything. And Truth basically, while his delusions were crazy, he basically said, that's my childhood hero, never give up, hustle, loyalty, respect. Like, I always believed that. I believed in John. This is not John at all. And this was actually the first time Truth actually said some smart kind of stuff. Like, he was not playing dumb. He basically said, if I gotta bring him home and I gotta beat some sense into it, so be it. I will beat sense into him to bring him home. And I was like, damn, that's deep. He's basically saying, I will face John Cena at Saturday night's main event. Basically have to throw hands with him to get back the Cena of old. So Truth's goal is to get Cena back to normal. That's his goal. That's the story here. Can Truth beat sense into Cena to make Cena realize what you're doing is wrong? Which is a crazy story. If you would have told me Truth was potentially the peacekeeper in this, I would have been like, you're crazy. But thinking about how they've been doing like the childhood hero, it all kind of makes sense. If there's one man that could maybe find peace in John to get him back to normal, it's Truth. It's Truth. So when I heard this was happening, I was like, well, damn. Here we are. So yes, in a non-title match, mind you, it'll be John Cena versus Ron Killings, aka R-Truth. Unbelievable that I'm even saying that right now.
Yeah, no. I mean, this has been development for so many years. R-Truth saying that John Cena's his childhood hero. Well, he gets to face his hero once again at Saturday Night Main Event. The question is, does R-Truth do the impossible? Does he beat John Cena?
Because like I said, for Truth, and looking at it now, it doesn't even look like it needs a victory for Truth. To me, it looks like he just wants to try to beat some sense into Cena and say, like, bro, what you're doing is absolutely
and that's
wrong.
what it is. This is not the way. This is not the way.
This is not the right way to end your retirement tour. Your tour where you're supposed to tour around the world and give people your time. You literally stopped all Hollywood production for this. You don't have any movies coming out because you wanted to make sure WWE has their final run. That's a lot of balls to do, but I respect Cena for it. So the fact that Truth is trying to place Peacekeeper in the situation, it's crazy to think about. But storyline-wise, it makes so much sense. And it even wouldn't surprise me, even if, because I obviously know who's going to win here, but even after, maybe Truth is the key to get Cena back to normal. Maybe he is the one. Slowly. Maybe he is the one to slowly get Cena more regretful every time he does the cheat. Like he cheats every time. Maybe Cena gets more regretful doing that. You know? So I think for me, there's an interesting plot line that even if like basically Cena mops the floor with Truth in this case and just sends him home, it shows that plot line of there's a lot you could tell here. Like they're setting seeds for something. Like I don't think this is like a one-off thing. I think Truth is going to be an important piece when we get closer to the end. I believe, because there is going to be a turning point where we potentially get Cena back to normal, and maybe we get a nice little final babyface run to wrap up his career. Because there's no way he goes heel the whole year. There's no way. And like I said, I want to say how far the heel thing can go, but it would only make sense for him to close his career as beloved, because that's what we want. We want Cena to have his final tour as a beloved person. We don't want him being hated. That would make no sense. So, but in general, yeah, I think Truth's going to be a big plot coming into this. Like, this is not a one-off. There is more to Truth. Even if Truth is not involved every time, I think there's going to be little parallels where Truth is going to slowly get Cena back to where he needs to be and show that the fans do love him and they never betrayed him. Like, because fans still love Cena to this day. It's just a fact. So
yeah, no, true, it is.
It's going to be an interesting road, but obviously, I love you, Truth. It'd be amazing for you to win. This one's pretty simple, though. Cena wins in this case.
Yeah.
Does Truth give up a hell of a fight? Absolutely. They're going to give him a hell of a fight. No way Cena just makes it quick. Like, he's going to give him a hell of a fight and hopefully knock some sense into Cena to chill out with the whole cheating thing and start regretting a lot of the things he's caused, because he's done a lot of damage. Truth can be the savior for that, because Truth is such a happy guy. And he doesn't want to see his childhood hero go down the dark path. It just that storytelling seems right. So, for me, yeah, Cena wins, but I'm very happy that they're doing this match, because this is probably going to be the last time you're going to see these two fight. So it only makes sense to do it here in a non-title situation. And it'll be Cena's potentially last Saturday night's main event. Potentially. Who knows?
Yeah.
So I think it's the right call.
Yeah, no, true. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Cena as well. But if R-Truth wins, I think I'll be so excited.
I will lose. I'll probably scream. I will scream if Truth wins. I will scream on top of my lugs if fucking Truth wins. But yeah, Cena for the win.
I agree
for sure. Yeah, Cena for the win.
Yeah, and then finally, the big main event where we're all anticipating the first team up of this new dangerous alliance between Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, and also Paul Heyman. And this all started at the end of night 1 of WrestleMania.
That's right.
Then on Monday, the dog was brought into the circle. The dog was brought into this dangerous alliance.
The dog not only has Paul Heyman as a mentor, he sent Roman Reigns home. Roman has not been seen since that explosive spear by Braun Breaker. He's not been seen since
Monday. Since
then.
Well, yeah, since that Monday.
Since that Monday.
Monday after Mania.
Yeah.
And again, Punk will be going one-on-one. With Sami Zayn, who has been against Seth Rollins for a little minute, and to be honest, called out Seth Rollins numerous of times, especially months earlier before this new heel run that he did.
Absolutely.
And Sami Zayn just has had enough of Rollins' obsession with Punk, Seth Rollins' hatred. He's had enough. And in his words, and probably what his mindset is going to be, he's going to try to beat some sense into Seth Rollins. And not only that, though, he's going to probably show no mercy to him and probably Braun Breaker.
Oh, absolutely. After what they did to him on Raw that 1 week, like the way they did him that week, I just want to explain. If you guys don't know,
so devastating.
Sami Zayn not only came back way too soon because he had hurt ribs after Braun Breaker speared him a gajillion times, and then speared him on the outside on a super spear at basically max speed. That also sucks. And he got curb stomped for all his troubles. So when Sami came back, it was going to be a hard comeback because Rollins took care of him very quickly, but them hurt ribs were crazy. Luckily, as we're going to transition, Sami found kind of a beacon of help, because obviously CM Punk finally returned after his monstrous spear that he took from Braun Breaker. He returned, and he came back with a vengeance. As you go.
Yeah, no, and you know, yeah, no, and he's just taking the fight to Seth Rollins and um, Braun Breaker, and so is Punk. You know, Punk, that feud is never going to end. For the years
No.
to come, that feud is never going to end until they retire. Probably Punk retires though, but again,
Hmm.
I do see them 1v1ing eventually. The only question is when.
Yeah.
Because I can see it at SummerSlam, I can see it at Money in the Bank, but
Hmm.
I don't think that's gonna happen yet for the Rollins and Punk feud to end.
Hmm.
Maybe it happens on Saturday, the Saturday Night Main Event. Who knows?
Hmm.
The next one, I mean.
Yeah.
But I just don't know where you end this. Where do you end the final 1v1 at the time between Rollins and Punk?
Hmm.
Unless they're saving this for Rollins when he wins the world title, then I think that will make sense.
Maybe.
Depending if he beats Jay.
Hmm.
But right now, I think this is up in the air right now of when that'll happen. Because I do think that from now, it is going to be Punk and Roman eventually going to
Hmm.
face Rollins and maybe Braun. Or, yeah, maybe Rollins or Braun next.
Hmm.
Going into either Money in the Bank or going into Night of Champions. Oh, no, I'm sorry, not Night of Champions, because it's not televised for Night of Champions, sorry.
Hmm.
For some reason. But either that or maybe I don't know, maybe the first SummerSlam. I mean, Rollins did compete twice
Yeah.
for WrestleMania 2 nights. I won't be surprised if he does the same
Uh-huh.
for SummerSlam,
Yeah.
and then have him fight maybe Roman on night two.
Mm.
But who knows? This is just what I'm thinking out loud and planning for maybe SummerSlam if it comes true. So, we'll see what happens. But this match is gonna be so good. But I gotta go. I gotta go with Seth and Braun.
I agree with that as well.
Right now, that is an unstoppable force.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see the chemistry and the training of Seth Rollins, obviously, because Rollins has been almost grooming Breaker into just that extra little elevation into Stardom. Because he's already in Stardom. He held the IC title for a decent long time. Had an awesome
Yes,
run with that. Great run with the NXT title and the tag titles. He's done a lot already in his very short career. But just to get that extra, just that little elevated extra push, little guidance from Seth Rollins, now Rollins is going to show that to Breaker and guide him into even higher stardom with Paul Heyman at his side as well. Especially since Heyman is he's like the true manager you want to get advice from. Like, if there's one guy that you want to get advice from, is that guy. Like the GOAT, Paul Heyman. So now that Breaker has that, and he's going to use that to help Rollins, of course. Yeah, like that duo is just unstoppable. And it even wouldn't be surprise me if they're gonna be on that kind of title style run. Yo, if this duo like has some crazy fucking tag moves, I know I'm usually the one to say you need to be a tag wrestler to win tag gold, even though I've been proven very much wrong with that statement.
yeah,
Them for the tag titles? I mean, Raw needs something. Rollins hasn't held a tag title in years. Breaker's never held the tag title in WWE other than NXT.
yeah, true,
Could be something to
very
think about.
true, very true.
Because
And
like
I do see that,
you could
and
still
or
do the
maybe,
rivalry with Seth as
yeah,
champion with Punk, because Punk doesn't need to get a partner or anything. He could just feud with him, but just
yeah,
have
no,
Rollins and Breaker defend it, kind of like what they did with the Wolf Dogs in a way, kind of something like
yeah,
that.
true, true,
Especially if this team is like goaded and they got like a nice move set and they're like well connected, which is going to be the interesting test. This is their first true test together as a team. Where does that
yeah,
chemistry lie? Well, we're going to find out. Especially since they got a tough opponent, because even with Sammy and Punk, which have like no chemistry right now, they know they're in for the same fight. They're in to get revenge on Rollins for what Rollins has already done to both of them. And obviously, when Roman Reigns come back, that's also going to add a little wrinkle in everything. So, but yeah, Seth and Braun for the win for sure. They definitely need to win an impressive debut together. They'll do it here. And it'll be interesting to see how they play it out because they could totally do like a whole Sammy guilt trip where Sammy makes a mistake and it's an accident and it costs them the win. Not even like a clean victory, like a dirty victory. It could happen.
Yeah.
Especially since Sammy and Punk's relationship, like I said, it's a solid relationship. But it is nowhere near like Sammy J or Sammy Roman. Like, it is nowhere near what their relationships are. So, that's where you put that in perspective. Is that maybe Punk goes for GTS, or maybe Sammy goes for Haluva and accidentally knocks off Punk, or something goes wrong, and Rollins and Breaker take advantage of that immediately. And that's how they'll probably win. They won't win in the cleanest way, but they'll win. It'll be a win for them. A good impression. But they'll look impressive because, again, Braun Breaker is unbelievable talent. And that's why this tag match is going to be a lot of fun. Plus, this is CM Punk's... I'm trying to think. Has he done Saturday nights before? I'm trying to remember.
Yes, he did. This is his, I believe, second Saturday night main event in the last decade, maybe or so, 20 years.
Good God.
Yeah.
I know Cena did a lot of those.
His partner... Yeah, no, Cena did a lot, too. But his partner was the Boogeyman. It was John Morrison, and I forgot who else. And Big Daddy V. That was the other one.
Holy shit, your memory is crazy. I never thought you'd remember that.
Yeah, because I did watch that Saturday night, too. I did watch that one.
Okay, yeah, I see that.
When I was younger, I did watch that one.
The one I remember for Cena's case, because this is Cena's first Saturday night's main event in years as well, was when he got RKO'd on the chair by Randy Orton. I remember that.
Yeah.
That was a crazy spot. That was the first time
Randy
did
Shawn Michaels fought Shane McMahon, I believe.
Yeah,
one of the Saturday main events.
Yeah. Same Saturday night's main event. So, yeah, a lot of these people have either never done Saturday night's main event, or a lot of them have done them,
or
haven't done it in years. Like Punk and Cena, for instance.
Punk and John, Punk and John are the only ones
sorry, Punk and John, sorry. And then there are new ones like Rollins. There's gonna be Rollins' first Saturday night main event. There's gonna be Logan's first Saturday night main event.
Braun Breaker's
first one. Braun Breaker, yep. Priest and Drew, they have. No, Priest hasn't done Saturday night's main event, so that's a first for those two. And Steel Cage match. So, yeah, lots of first and a lot of.
This is gonna be stacked, even though it's a short card. It's gonna be stacked, and I can't wait to see how. Yeah,
last time they did Saturday night's main event, I think we only got like 3 matches. I think we got 4 this time. That's more than last time, and one of them was a Steel Cage match. So I would say, bang for your buck. Yeah, you're getting a really good card for 4 matches. Like you getting quality. That's for sure. Like Tampa's getting.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You're getting Cena and Punk on the same show.
We're getting something.
That's absolutely insanity.
Yeah. Throwback. So, that's what this is. This is, if you're watching Saturday main event, not only is this for the old classic fans of the 90s and 80s, this is for the Ruthless Aggression fans, which I believe I'm mostly a part of. I'm the Ruthless Aggression fan. I could say I'm more of that than I would say the Attitude Era, but honestly I grew up with Attitude Era as well, though. But if I have to pick between those 2 eras, I am more of a Ruthless Aggression Era fan. I mean, fan than a Attitude Era fan. Even though I did grow up in the Attitude Era, but I mostly grew up watching mostly Ruthless Aggression Era matches and times and eras.
Yeah, like I said, I was more of the era when I first started, was that kind of, I would say the back half of like slow transition to the PG era where less curse words, but I did go back and watch a lot of those eras of like Ruthless Aggression, and then obviously Attitude Era. I even watched a little bit of 80s just to see like, what was like Macho Man,
I did watch 80s as well. I did watch a lot of 80s.
Dragon. I used to watch a lot of old Sting matches.
It was
Andre.
It was me, Hogan, and Bret the Hitman Hart. A little bit of Ultimate Warrior,
Razor Ramon, Michaels, Diesel, Undertaker. Like a lot of those eras.
Shawn Michaels a little bit too.
Yeah, that was the I think they call it the New Generation era. That one I watched. Going back for Bret Hart, because I wanted to see why Bret Hart was so great.
The Rock, Stone Cold.
And I kind of know why. Oh yeah, the birth of Stone Cold. Austin 316, which led to the Attitude Era. Yeah, I do know that. So yeah, I watched a lot of eras back, even though he wasn't there for it. I respect those eras, always. But it was also fun to go back and see what wrestling was like. It gave me
you gotta like him though too. You gotta like him though too, because without those eras, there wouldn't be a wrestling today. Without these eras,
my God, yeah.
Even though some were controversial, there will be no wrestling today without them.
Oh yeah, like ones generally for sure. Without
and sometimes in that era, it was for sure a gamble to do certain things.
Oh yeah,
especially when Vince McMahon did.
Oh,
especially what that man did. A lot of times.
What that dude did. Woo! Even on the other side of the block, even the other side of the block, WCW, they also took hella risk. They took risk as well.
Yeah, true. That ECW took a lot of risks too.
ECW, ECW is another one.
ECW definitely was a big one.
For sure.
But the point is that, without these eras, there will be no John Cena or CM Punk or any current wrestlers of this generation. And to be honest,
yeah, like the Steiner Bros. We probably don't get Braun Breaker with a mix of Goldberg, because they got the explosiveness.
Brock Lesnar, that era. Oh my God.
Yup.
The era of Lesnar.
The era of Lesnar
was definitely one of my favorites.
Where he was like destroying like Spike Dudley
which is why I say, in the beginning, that's why I got the figure though too. That's why, because I just love that era of Brock Lesnar. But the point is that I hope that he is innocent of the charges that are supposedly.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I hope he's enjoying absolutely his life. Even if he never.
I hope he's enjoying his daughter. Yes.
Like, I hope he's enjoying his life, like, in general. Yes. And I know his daughter is winning championships right now in collegiate sports, and I'm betting he's being a really good father.
Shot put was the...
shot put. Like, just winning so many sports achievements and everything. And, I do hope Brock is happy, and, there's no ill will or anything, and everything's going well for him, which it seems like it is. So that's good to know for Brock. But... yeah, my point is, to wrap this, this kind of thing, is having Saturday night's main event back is nice, because I never got a chance to see the Saturday night's main events. Like, I never got that chance. And I've always wondered what was like the specialty of the Saturday night's main event. But going back and watching the early eras, and then watching the little modern-esque eras where they had like Ruthless Aggression, because sometimes they would have Saturday night's main events here and there. And then obviously when it got into the later years, it kind of stopped a little bit. But even those eras, I was like, I see why people go to Saturday night's main events, and I see why it's important to have a little bit of Saturday night's wrestling for like an hour. I kind of see the point of it. It's a short episode. Sure.
Yeah.
But it gets right to the action. Maybe a promo, depending on what the card has. Probably a couple promos. And then right to the action. Right into what you want to watch. Especially like when they announced, Shawn and Shane were doing that epic street fight that same day. Yeah. They just went to war for the main event.
Yeah, no, they did. They did.
This on Saturday nights for an hour? This is crazy.
Crazy. Yeah, and I remember that, every hour, when I watched it, it was always an hour.
Like an hour, yeah.
Always an hour, yeah. And it was good, and I'm good, and I hope that they continue to bring this to the future, and this doesn't stop. That's what I hope.
Yeah, and the best part about it, the Saturday night main event shows are, like, generally doing well. Like, even if, like the one in Texas, the card on paper was great, but the execution of it, damn, I felt bad for some of those people. Even though Jay's match was, fucking man, him and Gunther was great. But definitely a lot of them got a little screwed over. But even that place almost sold out. Like, almost sold out. And here in Tampa, it's selling good again. So it shows the Saturday night main event format works. You just have to give enough interest, and you have to give a card that people want to go see. And this card is no different. I mean, you got Cena, Punk, Priest, Drew, Breaker, Rollins, all on the same card. And a lot of people love Truth. It's a good card. it's a strong Saturday night's main event card, and everything gets executed right, and it's a fun hour, bro. Saturday night's main event is going to be a fun Saturday, right before a epic card for NXT Battleground. It's a nice little teaser and taste before we get to Sunday. So, but yeah, that's basically the card for Saturday night's main event. That's our predictions. That's everything. I guess actually real quick, I guess before we go, since I guess we are chatting about NXT, I guess we could do a quick little rundown with that, just kind of zoom through. Because that card looks absolutely stacked, so it'll be quick. We won't go too long. Let me see here. So NXT Battleground. Okay, so this is what I have for the Battleground card. We're gonna start with our singles match. The battle, probably one of my favorite singles feuds. The battle for the Donship. Tony D'Angelo, former family member, now all alone, versus his former compadre, Channing Stacks Lorenzo. The first ever singles match between two family members. The winner of this becomes the Don and leads the family into the future. And potentially a call-up, because people have rumored that Tony could be getting called up.
Yeah.
Just
which is why, sadly, I do think it is going to be Tony D'Angelo.
I actually think Stacks is going to get it done.
No. That's what I said. I said that Tony D'Angelo is going to lose.
I know it's going to be a sad thing. But Stacks, if you give him enough time, he's proven. He's got the power to be a good leader. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, he's got the skills.
He's got the skills to do it. He learned from the Don. He learned well as an underboss. He learned well.
Yeah.
Just the way he's going about it, taking out Lucifino, almost going after Rizzo. Oh, man. Oh, man. It's a bit rough. But if there's a point for a reason, then I'm willing to hear him out. But I do believe Channing Stacks Lorenzo will be pinning the Don. And I do believe Tony D'Angelo will probably be getting called up potentially.
Yeah. The question is, what roster will he fit in? Will he be on the Raw roster or will he be on the SmackDown roster?
If he goes to the SmackDown roster, there's a lot of people that he's feuded with. Santos Escobar is one of them. And also respects Santos Escobar because of the relationship there between the family and Legato, the original Legato. So that could be a place of Tony to fit. He could definitely fit in that U.S. title scene, go after guys like Jacob
Priest. I agree. I think he'll probably be in that division.
Yeah. All right, next match. We got a bit of a six-man tag match. We got Shawn Spears, Brooks Jensen, Nico versus Josh Briggs and Hank and Tank. So Briggs, quick story. Briggs lost his partner due to the Noah partnership running out for Inamura. I think it's Inamura.
Yeah, Inamura. Yeah,
Inamura. Right. Inamura basically finished his journey. Even though he couldn't win tag gold, I would have loved for him to win tag gold. But again, the timing, the excursion was up. So now he has to go back to Noah and reset. Basically, go back to Japan. I do hope he does come back. I would love for him to come back to NXT. I think this Noah experiment of having excursion, I think it's been fun. It's worked. It's definitely worked. And having
that showed that it worked.
Yeah. Having people in the N1 like Briggs and obviously Heights was huge for the brand. It was the first time they ever did it. And it went really well. It's like when AEW lets people do the G1 or do the junior, like it's that kind of feel, and I really appreciate that. So, for this one though, I don't think you let Hank and Tank lose here, even though it's not for the tag titles. We gotta get them some nice wins. Hank and Tank, Team Hank and Tank for the win. Even though I love Shawn Spears.
Oh, of course. Ooh. You know what? I think I'm gonna go Josh Briggs and Hank and Tank.
Okay. Good choice. Kalani Jordan versus So Ruka. The way Kalani Jordan earned this opportunity was because Zarya made a bit of a mistake after Kalani basically got her rematch with Zarya. Accidentally hit So Ruka off the apron, and Kalani Jordan took advantage and beat Zarya. So this is how she got this opportunity. First defense for Soul. Sol retains. I don't see Sol losing yet. Yes, there is a bit of a dissension between Zarya and Sol because Zarya made a mistake. But right now, we don't want to mess with that. So
no.
Sol Ruka retains.
I think that I've been seeing that lately, and they've been feuding for a little minute, and again, Carolina wants to show that she's a badass, but also that she deserves to be champion again. And I think that she has earned it to become a contender. But I don't think that. I think Sol Ruka is going to retain the title.
Now remember, the last time these two fought, because they had a singles match on a pay-per-view.
Yes.
Who won? Yes. Did Sol win that, or did Kalani win that?
I believe Kalani won that.
Kalani won that, right?
Yeah, because it was for the title. Yeah.
Yeah, because that was Sol Ruka's first title opportunity. Okay, yeah. So now this time around, I think Sol's gonna get her win back.
But we'll see if it could be even or not. So we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll see. Because again, I've seen surprises, but again, so far, I love Sol's character. She's really awesome in the ring. She's super fun to watch. Definitely excited to see more from Sol Ruka as a Women's North American Champion. Next, we have my most anticipated women's match, Steffi Vecchio versus Jordynne Grace. Oh, Lord. This one's going to be tough. Again, I think both women absolutely deserve this. Jordynne Grace has been working her tail off to get this opportunity. It's not a thing where it was handed. She's worked hard. She had to go through, Jada Parker. She had to go through that four-way. Jordynne Grace has been very busy earning this opportunity. Steffi Vecchio, very much in the middle of her continuous amazing run as women's champion. Does she lose it yet? I wouldn't mind if Grace wins it here. I think they're going to hold on to it a little bit longer. I think Stephanie retains for now. But I think Grace is a high contender to take that belt off her.
Still, I think
she's in that race. Yeah. She's in that conversation.
Yeah, no, I gotta agree. But you know what? I think I'm gonna go Stephanie Vecchio. I think she's too high right now.
Yeah, for sure. She's got the hot hand. You might as well keep it on her for now. But damn, that match is gonna be hard hitting. It's probably gonna be some strong style level.
But if Jordynne Grace does win this, I am not mad.
No, I'd be excited because Jordynne Grace has so much potential. It's ridiculous. Yeah. I've seen it in TNA. She's gonna do the same thing in NXT. It's just
that's why I say that she's gonna challenge for the belt eventually, and I do think that she's gonna win it next time.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, I'm going Steffi Vecchio with the retain. But man, this is gonna be a hard match. Probably my most anticipated match coming up in the night. Like I'm buzzing for that match. I can't wait. There's another match I'm also looking forward to, but specifically for the women's side, that's a match that I'm gonna be seeded for. I can't fucking wait for that match on Sunday. Then we have Oba's next title defense, Oba Femi versus Miles Bourne of the No Quarter Catch crew. This was an interesting one. Short story. Miles Bourne trying to prove himself to Charles that he can win the big one by himself. No help. And he proved that because he won the Battle Royale to fight Oba. And if anyone doesn't know who Miles Bourne is, he is basically the Randy Orton Jr., basically, is what I call him. He looks like Randy, he acts like Randy, and he has it doesn't steal the moveset, but it inspires the moveset of a Randy Orton. His dropkick, totally based on Randy. His cutter, totally based on the RKO. Like, it is a Randy-style build. And again, for me, this is a bit of a proven match for me. This is going to prove to me, can Miles Bourne hang with the best? Can he hang with the ruler? The man who leads NXT in the world title division. It's going to be a fun test. I said it from the beginning. When he won the Battle Royale, I was like, you know what? I ain't mad at it. I was not mad at it. I'm still not mad to it to this day. This is going to be a fun prove-it test for Miles. But obviously, the ruler does not lose at this time. The ruler retains. Oba retains, obviously. But I'm very excited to see what Miles Bourne's fight's going to give. I think he's going to give Oba a run for his money. But Oba wins. Easy. Oba wins, retains here.
Yeah, no. This is going to be tough. I think that... I love Miles Bourne. I mean, he's got the look. He's Randy Orton. I love him. I love Miles Bourne, and I do see him as a future world champion in the future. But the question is that is he proven right? And in his words is this though. You know, I did like the speech, even though I did find it funny at first, but not. But at the same time, I love the message.
Yeah.
I want to be.
Yeah.
I want to be judged by my ability, not my disability.
Not my disability. That's line the message. Was cold. Yeah. I was like, that's a cold line.
Yeah, no, that was a cold line.
I love that line. I respect that line.
I love, like, and I can't wait to see what he shows. You know, I do see something in him, and I hope that he shows out and proves why you know he's gonna be a big star in WWE.
That no quarter catch crew has so much potential. It's ridiculous, especially with Miles Bourne and Tavion
all of them
Heights.
In general. All of them have potential.
Yeah. Even Rex Sinclair, even though it was
Sinclair
funny how she won her
too.
shot to get into Deadline. I think she's pretty cool. She has a lot of potential, I would say. And obviously, the son of William Regal, Charles Dempsey, ridiculous athlete. That dude screams champion. But for sure, Miles definitely has a chance.
Yeah.
Even if he doesn't win, he's got a chance to show a lot of people that dude has a lot of potential. And
you know, in general, my pick, I still believe it's the Rula. Oba.
The Rula retains.
Oba Femi is going to retain his title. Who?
But I do believe Miles Bourne is going to give him a run for his money. He's going to make this
of course. I do believe that
competitive. He's not going to make it easy on Oba. Oba's going to get the win. But I think Miles is going to show a lot of people, hey, don't sleep on us. Don't sleep on the no quarter catch crew. Don't sleep on me. I'm someone you might want to watch out for. Because that dude screams champion, for sure. Especially in the right moment. Bro, perfect setting there. There actually isn't a match added here, because they also announced this match, but they didn't put it on here. North American Championship, Ricky Saints versus Ethan Page was also added to this card recently. For this one, does Ethan go 0-2 against Ricky? Yeah, they're doing a rematch at Battleground.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Dude, does he go 0-2?
You know what? I believe he is.
Unfortunately, I believe he does. Even though I think Ethan's going to be fine. I think Ethan's going to be just fine. I think he's on that teetering end of almost ready for main roster. Like, he's right there. Like, I think if he gets, like, one more little title run, maybe with the North American title, I think after that,
I would say, either by the draft or probably by the end of the year, I would give him. It'll probably be time for him to get.
I would give him the call up. Yeah, I give him the call up to the main roster. He's got the charisma. He's amazing.
He's ready.
The ring. He's ready.
And you know what? I think I would like to see him on Monday Night Raw.
Oh, Ego on Raw? That makes so much sense. Absolutely. That's an amazing brand right there for him to go. I 100% agree. That would be awesome. Yeah, but for Ego, he's going to be fine even if he loses 0-2 in the Ricky feud, which that means Ricky will win the feud and we will have to figure out something else for for Saints, I should say. But for now, keep building up that credibility. Ricky Saints, I think he retains. I don't see him losing. And finally, my second most anticipated match after Joe Hendry absolutely roasted Trick in a concert. That concert was absolutely hilarious. Melo's bitch. That's it. That's all I have to say. Melo's bitch. That's all I have to say.
You cold for that.
No, but that's what he said. If you go back and
that's cool. But damn. Oh my god. I gotta watch it because I don't think I watched NXT
and I was dying. I was like,
oh my god. Why you have to do him like that, Joe?
Joe, I get it. He attacked everything, your morals. I get it. He went into your company and stand tall after a pay-per-view, after the most shocking pop-up that I've seen in a hot minute. Right after Rebellion, he kicked you right in the face. I get that. But you don't have to call Melo's bitch. You don't have to do that. You didn't have to show footage when they did the whole NXT Halloween. Oh. What? What the Man, what's going on with my internet, bruh? What's going on? Hold on. Oh my god, what the fuck happened? Hold on, hold on, hold on. What the hell is happening? Sorry about that, guys. I'm having mad connection issues. I don't think the stream stopped. Let me make sure. Yeah, no, we're still rolling. I gotta wait for him to get back in here. I'm so sorry. I'm having mad connection issues today. I
Oh,
apologize.
really? I thought that was me. I thought
No,
it
that
was
was
me.
me. 100% me. Because it
Oh,
said
wow.
you left the party due to error. What I was trying to say
I had
was,
that yesterday.
yeah. No, what I was trying to say was, Joe Hendry, you didn't have to do him like that. And then you showed the footage of him when he was doing the Halloween thing with Mello, and he got like scared and stuff.
Damn, bro.
You did not have to do him like
You
that.
cold. You cold. You cold, Joe.
But
You
Joe,
cold.
I understand why you did it. So,
Yeah.
now
Honestly,
well,
in
I didn't say what the
general,
hell the match was. Joe
yeah.
Hendry versus Trick Williams for not even an NXT title. No, 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 no. It is for the TNA World Championship.
For the first time in WWE history, a outside company's world title is being showcased.
It's being defended.
For the world title. Yeah.
It's not even a showcase anymore where Joe walks in as the champion, but it's not defending. No, he's defending a company's title in a different company in front of a bigger audience. That is just a win-win for both NXT and WWE and TNA as a whole. That's a win. You're telling me you're defending your world championship against probably one of the hottest dudes and one of the best superstars in NXT, Trick Williams, for the TNA World title. A title that's not even in your company is getting defended. That just shows something that this partnership is so strong. They trust Joe to defend that title on an NXT pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking amazing. This is crazy.
Yeah. No,
oh my god.
It really is. History making.
Absolutely history making.
History
More
making.
barriers are being opened. This is unbelievable.
But I have a feeling that Joe is going to retain, and I believe, in my personal opinion, it is time for Trick Williams to be called up.
I would agree. Yeah. Like, the only thing I would say he only has, like, left is maybe run it back, because I think Javon had some things to say about Trick. Maybe do that feud, and then from there, yeah, call up. He's done everything in NXT. It's time for Trick Willie to go up. It's time for Trick Willie to find some new competition. And main roster, he already is over when he went to Miami and helped Mello, and he was over. That dude.
It's time for him to go to the big leagues.
Time for the big leagues to see what he can do. Yes, I do agree with you. Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
That dude is retaining and taking the TNA World title back to TNA. And you know who's going to be waiting for him, even though I don't want to say it? I believe Frankie Kazarian is waiting for him.
Oh, he's fighting Frankie again. Oh, okay.
Because they never truly had their 1v1 world title match.
Yeah, that is understandable. That is understandable.
The trophy. Now, would Frankie have to re-earn the title opportunity? Yes, he would. But
yes,
Frankie is so desperate to get that world title and become the true king of TNA. You get desperate. So, it would not surprise me if Mr. Joe gets an opening call from Frankie when he gets back to TNA and kind of go from there. But it has been really cool to see Joe back in NXT with the world title. And he just fits like a glove when it comes to WWE and the appearances he does. Yeah, Joe in that WWE run. Yeah, I can already see it. It just makes sense. But yeah, Joe, I think he's gonna retain. He's not losing that thing. Probably not for a little bit. We are heading up to Slammiversary soon enough. But yeah, he's not losing right now. Joe with a retain.
No, I agree. Yeah, no.
And that is the Battleground card. Yeah. So Saturday, we get banger matches, and then Sunday, we get a whole banger NXT card.
Yep.
And then we somehow reset
that's your,
Monday.
Yep. Well, that's your WWE week by us.
Yeah, that's it. Like, the only thing I would say, SmackDown, like I said, has a couple qualifying matches as we get closer to Money in the Bank. We're gonna be, I think coming up, we're gonna be like 4 to 3 weeks out before Money in the Bank in the Intuit Dome. Yep. But also that same day, early in the afternoon, is gonna be a special show by NXT, which I don't know if we'll do predictions for, because I remember we made a rule where we don't do Worlds Collide. We might do a preview, but I don't know if we'll do predictions for it. But NXT will be teaming up with their new company that WWE has acquired, AAA. AAA in Mexico. A lot of the stars from AAA, so guys like El Vikingo and stars like that are going to be facing NXT talent. Because also, Vikingo is actually set to defend, I can't believe I'm saying this guy's name, Alberto Del Rio, who is their world champion. He is set to defend that title, I think, coming up in the next week and a half or two. So if Vikingo can win that world title, he will walk into NXT Worlds Collide, if he is fighting, as a world champion. Which would be kind of crazy. So, yeah, we'll see what they're doing for that card, because I know they're going to start building up to that card. That card is basically coming up in a month. But yeah, so that day is going to be absolutely wild. It's going to be like it's almost going to feel like a WrestleMania Night 1, Night 2. Because the open appetizer is Worlds Collide. And then on the same night is Money in the Bank. That night is going to be ridiculous. But yeah, so that's basically everything. That's our Raw review. We're doing some extra shows in there, just to spice it up a little bit.
Oh, yeah, maybe, yeah.
We might do that again, especially if there's another Saturday night's main event. If you guys want those, like, little short kind of, predictions in the middle, we could always do that. I'm cool with that. But yeah, thank you so much. Super excited for Saturday and Friday, and then obviously Sunday. It's going to be a wrestling heavy day. It's going to be fun. And then we reset on Wednesday, because Raw is going to be on Monday. So I'm probably going to be dead by Tuesday, but I'm all ready for it, because all wrestling. But yeah, that's it.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you all. Appreciate all of y'all.
Thank you, guys, and we'll tune in to the next episode.
We'll see y'all for episode 7 next Wednesday.